The Soul Stream has begun. Mortal Kombat Online and the Realmcast live show, bringing you the latest news, thrilling interviews, and much more, all live and in real time. And the best part is you can be part of the action by joining in our chat in the live chat where your voice can be heard. I am your host, the Mortal Kombat Phantom, and with me as always is our lore master, Yanni. Welcome, Yanni.
Thank you, Phantom. And today's featured guest is Under the Mayo, who I think, have you just managed to join, Mayo? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here the whole time.
Perfect timing. He is known for his gameplay analysis and game strategy discussions. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. This invitation came out of nowhere for me, so this is pretty cool to be here.
It's fun to have you. We love bringing in, different members of the Mortal Kombat community. So it's good to bring somebody new on this show every once in a while. And we're excited for you to be here because we got some cool topics this week.
I wanted to ask, how many episodes are you into this show so far?
This is, I think, our 13th Soul Stream episode. Is it not, Phantom?
This is the 13th live show that we've done. And then, of course, we do the Realmcast podcast. And I don't know, we've been doing those for, 3 or 4 years now?
And three years now, yeah. And I'm actually checking because you're making me very curious as to how many episodes we are into it. But just
happy
before I
say
that, happy anniversary to everybody in the chat. Apologies, we've never seen technical difficulties like that before ever in doing this show. That was an entirely new experience for us. But thank you all for holding up, and we have a lot of fun discussion.
They've changed my layout too, so I'm trying to figure out how to turn my chat back on. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
As far as I'm aware, we are actually 40 episodes into the Realmcast, Phantom.
Wow, that's not bad.
So what's the difference between the Realmcast and the Soul Stream?
That's a great question. Thank you. I feel like you're plugging us on your own show. That's so the Realmcast is our Mortal Kombat online podcast where we go through and we talk through different influential members of the Mortal Kombat community. We bring a lot of movie stars, celebrities. We brought in Larry Kasanoff, producer of Mortal Kombat, different actors from the games to the movies, writers, all that. And they come on and we do more of our interview-based work. And then the Soul Stream, this is all live. So on this show, all of our guests get to participate, as you can see in the live chat. And they get to talk to us and, kind of go through and give their own feedback on what's going on in Mortal Kombat. We usually cover the news for the month and kind of talk about everything that's been going on, which, of course, right now with Mortal Kombat 1, it's been insane.
This is a busy time. Nova Prime, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nova Prime. And I've also seen another comment saying, say my name, please. So you get it, the noob.
The noob.
In response to John W. saying, what is this? I'm pretty sure we just answered your question.
Yeah.
We're going to be discussing a couple things today. And those specific main topics are going to be EVO 2023 with the main, or I suppose, final grand finale of Mortal Kombat 11's tournament, as well as Mortal Kombat 1's recently revealed trailer at EVO.
And don't forget, if you're tuning in anywhere else besides Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, you can't really participate in the chat. So check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or just go to realmcast.com, which will take you to Mortal Kombat Online's website, and you can click on the links and participate there. So, Yanni, do you want to kick us off with some EVO news for those who sat through 3 days worth of EVO content?
Well, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I'd actually firstly like to address something which is technically unrelated to Mortal Kombat, but it is definitely EVO related. And it's kind of, I say funny, but it's also concerning. I've got a link up on share screen if you want to pull that up. So PS5 USB ports were reportedly melting at EVO 2023. And this is reported by Engadget. What was that, Mayo?
I just briefly heard something about this. I haven't looked into it myself.
Yeah, it's a bit concerning, as I mentioned, but
it's concerning. It's badass, is what it is.
the tournament was just so awesome that it was frying PS5.
Yeah. So, no, what really caused this to happen?
Well, going through multiple articles, specifically here, I've got Engadget's article open. Actually, even before I say that, as far as I'm aware at EVO, Mayo, you might have a better understanding of this than I do, but I think only Street Fighter was actually played on PS5. Is that correct, or am I completely off with that?
I don't know. I didn't watch EVO as closely as I would have liked to. I watched I watched the MK finals and some of the later pools, and I watched the finals day on Sunday and some Marvel, but I wasn't really watching it closely enough to really follow the situation and know that for sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, we were kind of similar. We were just literally holding on for the Mortal Kombat trailer. But
as was every other Mortal Kombat fan, I think.
yeah, that first day where everybody waited up was pretty frustrating. I must admit, everybody was annoyed at finding out at the last possible moment that we weren't getting M1K news until the final day of EVO. But we got there in the end.
That was good. I mean, there was no better time to show that trailer than the time that they did it, which was like right in the middle of the finals day in front of 20,000-30,000 people. Like that was great. I mean, would you have rather had it a day before? Compared to that, I don't know, definitely not. That was great.
See, our only I suppose constructive feedback with regards to when the trailer was shown would have been maybe tell people to expect it on that final day.
Yeah,
but,
I expected it on Friday during the Mortal Kombat 11. I was thinking maybe during their the top 10 finals on Mortal Kombat 11 day. I think that would have been a good time too, but showing it in front of a wider audience does make sense. But at the same time, there's a lot of people I think that left Sunday. Like people were traveling
packed,
from out of town.
Regardless.
Yeah, it was. Like I was surprised there were so many people still there. But
so, well, EVO itself was obviously quite the success, considering how we just mentioned it was packed. But going back to the melting of the USB ports, one explanation I've seen is that obviously, it's a fighting game tournament, so people are going to be bringing their own controllers, fight sticks, etc., etc. And some of those need USB converters so that they can plug in potentially incompatible controllers without those converters. And that may have been the leading reason as to why the PS5s were frying. I've seen some people asking, well, if that's the case, then why isn't it frying at home? It could be a variety of things. It could be that maybe multiple fight sticks on one console wasn't really going to make the USB port last. It could have been that maybe these people were using their fight sticks on PS4s rather than PS5s as well. There's a lot of things. I mean, as far as we could tell, EVO really tried to take care of this from happening. They had the temperature even at 70, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 21, 22 degrees Celsius. They were swapping out PS5s each time there was an ad break to try and combat this. It's crazy. I still can't believe that this was happening.
Well, it's going to require some kind of, a scientific test, of getting a whole bunch of different controllers and USB types and environmental conditions and just trying to replicate it. Because if they can't replicate it, there's no way they're going to actually figure out what it was.
Exactly. So what you're saying is we need an EVO 2 to replicate it.
Yeah, then we're gonna need to rerun the whole thing, get everybody back. All right.
Sorry, Ninja Killer. I know you won, but
everyone's got to pay for their own plane tickets, and if you don't come, you forfeit your title.
That prize money's got to go all the way back too, right?
Yeah, it's like a belt championship.
But I suppose we should actually move into the actual Mortal Kombat 11 discussion. Yeah. And for those who are unaware, here are the rules for the Mortal Kombat 11 tournament itself. Firstly, as we mentioned, it was on PlayStation 4 and specifically told, bring your own controller, which we apparently have discovered also means burn our PlayStation 5 USB ports. Double elimination, tournament mode default options, although that did not apply to variations because, as you see further down, you did have tournament mode custom variations. 90-second timer, interactables, of course, on 2 or 3 rounds per game, 3-5 games per set. Although I don't think that applied to the finals. Is that the case, Mayo?
The finals were definitely 3 out of 5.
Was it 5? Because I didn't catch the entire thing. I joined late.
Oh yeah. All matches were 1st to 3.
All right, cool. You've got winner of the prior game, keeping the same character. Loser, being allowed to switch, and random stage select, or agreeing between the two players to choose one
They
stage.
probably should have included that winner cannot change their variation, because I don't believe you can do that either.
That I did not know. Thank you.
I don't think you can. I mean, I may be wrong on that, but I don't think I've ever seen someone on the winning a match keeping the character, but then changing out their special moves. I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Although I wonder if that would have actually been something that they would have wanted to do, because maybe they've been sticking with a specific variation, just that they've been practicing constantly, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if that's an official rule, but I would assume it is, but who knows?
Does make sense. Does actually make sense. So, I mean, we've mentioned this already, but Ninja Killer _212 was the winner of Mortal Kombat 11's final EVO tournament. Well, we say final, we assume so, with Mortal Kombat 1 on the way. So congratulations to Ninja Killer.
Yeah, wow. I mean, well deserved. I mean, we've been watching him. We've been watching him, you know, for years now, and his performance was just so impressive. He was so good, man. I was really happy for him.
And I was especially happy to see him using Fujin, to be honest. I mean, since Fujin dropped until Rain dropped, I was a Fujin main. So it's just
the whole tournament was Fujin players.
Let's get into that, shall we? Oh Lord.
I mean, I've never seen such disdain for Fujin until this tournament, and it's a shame, because I was happy to see Fujin played so much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, I thought it was cool to see so many of them, but it was so many Fujins.
Yeah.
Which it's not typical with Mortal Kombat 11 tournaments either. You know, I guess because I'm used to playing like online and stuff like that, but you know, usually you see scorpions or jokers everywhere, but
well, I mean, he's a top tier character that basically has almost every option you could want. He's got damage, he's got screen, you know, he's got corner carry, he's got crazy mobility, he's got a long reaching confirmable mid combo starter, he's got space control, he's got so much that you could want as a player, and that's, you know, when you know how to handle him, you're covering so many of your options. Like, I don't know the exact matchups, but I would imagine that Fujin doesn't have many matches where he's like, man, I'm really struggling against what this character can do, compared to other characters where you might feel comfortable in many matches, but then suddenly you're against something and you're just like, damn it, I don't know what to do. I don't see how Fujin really runs into that situation very often.
Yeah, no, honestly, when I was playing Fujin, and I'm not the best player, but I never felt like I didn't have the tools in my kit that I needed.
He's just got so many tools, and I think because he covers so many options and he doesn't really have those big vulnerabilities, that seeing so much of him tends to get tiresome for the viewer, because you start to feel like you're just seeing Fujin doing his thing. Fujin is just always doing his thing, and it is, for me as a viewer, it becomes more entertaining to watch characters when they're not exactly able to do everything they want to be doing.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
That becomes those were really, really fun matches, and when you don't get that, it becomes a little tiresome to watch. And so I would agree with the viewers that there was too much Fujin in. I found it a bit boring, but here's the thing: high level play is high level play, and
Fujin commands high level play too.
That grand finals was it was so good, because I wasn't even watching it as Fujin. I was just watching it as Nicholas and Ninja Killer, and what they were doing as players. And so it was incredibly entertaining regardless. It was really good.
It definitely was. And sorry, Phantom, just before we should look at the chat for 1 second.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Eddie Herta, hello. Oh yeah, were you about to go for it?
Yeah. So there's so many people in the chat, you know, asking for Fujin for Mortal Kombat 1 now, and the fact that we haven't got Fujin yet, if we're going to get him at all, you know, EVO really kind of demonstrates what could be done with that character. And so I'm actually, I'll be disappointed if we don't get Fujin in Mortal Kombat 1, like, especially how FGC centric Warner Brothers is with the Mortal Kombat franchise. So, you know, you would think that they would pay attention to how EVO went, and if they don't reveal or have him in this first round, maybe in Combat Pack 2 or something, I think there would be a good possibility after EVO that we would get Fujin.
Yes, and the lore implications are quite amazing too to have him in. I mean, honestly, I kind of do want to mention Fujin when we do go through the Banished trailer itself, by the way. So we will be coming back to Fujin for Mortal Kombat 1, at least in terms of discussion. I did see one comment which I would like to address, and JP Masters says, "You guys are awesome. One of the best reaction vids I've ever seen. It spoke for most of us." Honestly, I am still. Oh man, so Mayo, you're new to the channel. I am a huge Rain, Smoke, and Sareena fan. And my God,
so you've been crying every single time you see a trailer.
Yeah.
When I saw Sareena, like, I'm telling you, this was legit. Like, I know some reactions can be a bit over the top. That was just me. That was just me going absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, it was genuinely.
Yeah. But glad you enjoyed it.
Hey, that was me when I saw Havik.
I
lost my shit, man. I went nuts.
The trailer was me like, oh my God, is that Havik? And then like, oh, I think Sareena's there too. And he's like,
no, don't even try. You weren't even like, is that Sareena?
I didn't even spot Sareena the first time I saw the trailer. I was just so consumed by what I was watching with Havik, and I was like, who's this demon chick? What? And then I went back and I'm like, oh fuck, it's Sareena. Because here's the thing. I didn't really play Deadly Alliance briefly. I was much more of a deception guy. And so Sareena, I don't have much of a connection to her, but I mean, she looks great.
The thing about Sareena, and I'll be covering this a bit later as we mentioned, you know, the characters and go through them, is she's technically not actually been properly, truly playable until Armageddon, which in my opinion doesn't count because everybody was playable apart from like Tremor.
Yeah.
But even for Deadly Alliance, by the way, she was in the tournament edition variation. Which was,
that's right.
What was it,
yeah.
Game Boy?
Game Boy.
So
but
barely
it was
anybody knows.
Port.
It was a good port for what it was, I suppose, you know. But like at that point in time, it's just, I wish we got that for Deadly Alliance itself. But anyway, we'll come back to this later, everybody.
Okay.
But I would like to address something, which even specifically for both of you, because everybody's saying too much Fujin, but then also everybody's asking for Fujin for Mortal Kombat 1. And one thing I would like to address is Fujin was not the only character played, and in reality, it might have just been a sort of side effect of us only looking back at EVO every so often as we waited for the trailer, because a lot of characters were played. We had
that was good.
Fujin, Johnny Cage, Kotal Khan, Terminator, RoboCop, Kung Lao, Sub-Zero, Kitana, Jackie, Kano, Scarlet, you know, like everybody played a variety of characters rather. And it's just that we started to get more Fujin because obviously you're seeing the characters play their mains really, or, you know, their mains for that moment in time or for the tournament.
Yeah. JP Master says Terminator was unexpected and intriguing to see how far he would go in the tournament. What did what character was used to actually win the tournament?
Fujin versus Fujin.
Okay. Yeah, it was Fujin versus Fujin, and right before that was also Fujin versus Fujin, wasn't it?
Gosh,
it was like Fujin. Yeah, actually, I've got it open here. We had the finals was Fujin. If I can bring that up there, yep, Fujin, and this is why I asked you, by the way, Mayo, if there were 10 matches, because this is very weird. It shows multiple matches. It doesn't seem to make 100% sense over here to me, unless I'm misreading it. Maybe you could read this better than I can.
What example?
Oh, can you not see the screen being shared?
No, I see it, but what are you asking me to look at?
Hold on. That did not work. Let me go back. So here we've got 3-0 for Ninja Killer and Nicholas, and then you've got 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I didn't catch the entire final. I looked. I think I was on the last couple of rounds, I think, if anything, or last 3 rounds maybe. So I'm a bit confused as to why there seems to be this many matches in comparison to all the other matches having apparently 5 or up to 5.
Well, it's because it's the first person to win 3 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So 3-0 is Ninja Killer resetting the bracket 3-0.
There we go. All right.
And then 3-2 when he wins again.
Cool. All right. That explains it a lot to me now. So because he was in the losers finals, he had to reset the bracket.
So we ended up getting how many is that? 1 and then 3, 4 plus the 7, and so that's 12 games of Fujin Mirror. So you can understand why people might be a little
yeah, fair enough.
Right? And then
makes a lot more sense now.
Before that was Ninja Killer versus Foxy Grandpa, and that's more Fujin, I believe.
Yes, but I think
then Nicholas and Proc
was using Sub-Zero and Katana. Here we are.
And then before that, you had Scorpion, Prox, and Nicholas in their own matches, both using Fujin, and then you have Nicholas and Ninja Killer. That's another Fujin mirror. So it's not psychological. It was a lot of Fujin. There were some other characters. It was great, but wow, there was I have to fucking top 6 was Fujin mirrors.
Well, as somebody who loves Fujin and was so excited to see him come to MK11, I say there's no such thing.
Hey, you know what? I guess I would be a bit of a hypocrite if the top 8 was all Devora mirrors. I would be smiling.
There you go. Fair enough. And I would be like, so totally fair. But no, it was quite amazing to watch. Like I said, I didn't watch the entire thing, but it was a lot of fun. And honestly, the commentators, Ultra David, Mr. Aquaman, Ketchup, Infinity, did such a phenomenal job with commentating. They really, really kept the energy high the entire time.
Yanni, do you see our chat right now? I just want to point out what Sonic said. Sonic XD says, "Love the reaction. Love how Phantom had to say Sareena for Yanni to scream and cry."
It's been 17 years.
I know. It's like, we're allowed to get excited about this stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, the commentators were great. They always do a good job. And hey, maybe it's just me, but does the Mortal Kombat community for the most attractive commentators in the entire FGC? I think so, man. I mean, everyone was looking great. Ketchup looked fucking great. Infinity looks great. Mr. Aquaman was probably like the most handsome man in the entire arena. Right? I think MK community gets the hottest commentators.
I kept commenting on the pink suit. I loved it.
Yeah, we were waiting for the Mortal Kombat trailer, and Yanni just was like, "Oh my god, that suit! Oh,
I need a pink suit." But I've never considered it until now.
You're saying 17 years. That's the crazy thing about this. Is like, if you're not counting Armageddon, which I didn't play Armageddon. I wasn't interested in it. So for me, it's been about what was Deception 2004. So it's like 19 years really for me. And the love that they're giving to the 3D era is just so satisfying. And you could hear just from the crowd reaction, like showing that trailer in front of all those people in the arena, like those people weren't there for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat wasn't even being played on Sunday. And when Havik walked out on screen, it was crazy. And it's like, Havik, the guy's he hasn't really been in a MK game for 17 to 19 years, and people are going crazy for him.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're talking about the trailer, and you're completely right in your reactions, like for the record, we didn't notice Sareena at first because we were focused on Havik. So like I totally feel you. But why don't we pull up the trailer, Phantom?
Yeah.
Earthrealmers aren't ready to see the real me.
So how does it work? You just shape-shift into anything you want?
I can shift only between this and my natural form.
This was a shock to me.
Whoa.
Best of both worlds.
Human form.
Exactly.
Freak among my people.
This was shocking too.
I was
lore-wise.
terrorized. Run out. You misread my intentions, princess.
Here's the gameplay.
His outfit is phenomenal.
This is his best look ever.
You got to look at Mustard's breakdown of his suit. It's great.
All right.
I appear nearly human because
Ashrah looks quite different than her Deception counterpart. I don't know how much of that is lore or what.
Well, a lot more demon-like, right? I mean, she has always been a demon, but the entire point was that she was purifying herself, which she seems to be doing again.
Okay.
Here.
I don't know much about
her. I
her.
think she was purifying herself. This looks very Fujin-esque, and I'm not just saying that because she has a sword. But then you also see other traces of other characters in there.
And Sizos, come. The monks must prepare you for war.
You will accept chaos by choice or by force.
Killing
He
one
looks
realm
great.
to free another is a heinous proposition. One I won't let you fulfill.
You take care, Sonica. You enjoy your vacation. Nice to see you here.
And this was the coolest thing about Havik as a character, that he could just twist his body and take things off.
Here, Phantom and I were like, well, initially like, who's that demon? And then,
Yeah. And she's got this like AoE burn move that I'm really curious about.
They must see me.
Damn.
the tail edition was great. As is the little gator roll that everybody loves.
Oh, the Striker Fatal Blow, that might have been the biggest crowd reaction. For lame ass MK3 Striker, and everyone's like,
I hate Striker. I hate Striker.
but it's all nostalgia, man, and it's great. It's just wonderful. I feel it.
The way he punches it, oh yeah. Like, and then stabs them with his bones. The blood cube is so good as well. A lot of focus on Sareena's demon form.
Yeah, that seems to be most of her assists.
And this, I did not see the wings coming.
Such a great fatality.
Take your chaos elsewhere.
That's cool that the
This
fatalities
fatality.
actually say character-specific quips at the end.
I'm wondering if they're adding that or if that's just from the story.
Oh yeah, maybe.
What a fatality. Whew. I've actually lost count of how many times I've watched that trailer. It's actually crazy.
So,
So far.
should we do a little bit of a breakdown for everybody, because there's a lot of stuff in the chat that we wanted to talk about, and like
Sure.
I'm watching this chat go off and I'm like, oh yeah, we need to talk about that too.
Mhm. All right. Well,
Yeah, you
should
got,
we address the characters revealed firstly, just in case?
yeah, let's do it. Who do we got?
All right. Obviously, Reptile, Ashrah, Havik, Sareena. So, lore. We're gonna cover lore implications of this trailer first, and then we're gonna go through gameplay. And Mayo, you are the expert, so we're gonna be relying on you heavily there.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I haven't been an MK player for 4 years. I'm just now getting back into it, so we'll see.
That's
Yeah,
good.
you got you.
Yes. So if you guys haven't followed Under the Mayo, please check him out. Like, his gameplay analysis are awesome for Mortal Kombat. That's kind of why we wanted to bring you on the show, because we were watching some of your MK1 analysis from the earlier trailers, which
Yeah.
what they did at EVOs is, they've done some patching and stuff that we'll kind of go into. So
Yeah, let's get through the trailer and then we can get into
Yes.
that kind of stuff, because that's definitely a deeper topic.
Let's do that. All right. So let's start off with Reptile, guys. Real good
Yeah.
with that.
So
First
this
thing
is
is
a different reptile. Yeah. I mean, this is the same reptile, but he's different. It's like an amalgamation of everything that we've ever had in Mortal Kombat media.
Yeah.
He's got this, the sick reptile form that you started seeing in like Deadly Alliance. But he's just got this also the classic ninja look, which is what I've personally missed. I've missed the human reptile look from like MK2.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like the way that they introduced him too is they basically have him in this body shop, and like there's all these dead people and dead things hanging everywhere. So, you kind of wonder. It reminds me as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my god, are they going to do Reptile like what was it, Mortal Kombat Rebirth? Kevin Tincherian's concept where he turned Reptile into this tattooed guy with like piercings everywhere, and he was just like a cannibal. I was like, I hope they're not going that route. And then like Reptile showed up, I was like, okay, we got pretty boy Reptile. Which, everybody's been freaking out about how attractive Reptile is. And so
he looks like a Devil May Cry character.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Well,
super
people have
hot.
been saying he really looks actually like, I think it was Nero.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like
So-
face model wise. King Lime has asked a good question. Could this be the flesh pit? Phantom, would you mind going and pausing back on the scene where, here. So we're talking about his costume, right? And one thing that I've noticed is he has keys on his sash.
he has
and
keys.
he's the one keys, yeah. He's
Like-
breaking them out of their cell,
Huh.
right?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's supposed to be guarding this exact area. Is it the flesh pit? It could make sense. And if you fast forward a tiny bit, right after he transforms, there, it should be there a little bit more. There, look in the background. What do you see?
Oh, like a hanging Shokan or something?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And somebody else pointed out in the chat that there was a centaur in the bottom left corner of that last frame. It didn't.
Ooh, I missed that.
It looked like a horse's body or something.
Oh.
So yeah, that's interesting stuff.
Well, the most interesting thing I think actually so far is that it sounds like either Zatera or the Saurians or both are still around.
Yeah.
Because he says, I've been run out by my people pretty much for being able to transform into a human, which is another big shift.
So this brings back something else too from the last trailer that was released before this one. And that's the fact that we're getting Chameleon in Mortal Kombat as a combat pack. And this is not a spoiler or a leak. This is something that's been announced from Warner Brothers UK. That
we don't discuss leaks.
So a lot of people are asking about leaks and stuff. We don't discuss them just because they're not always accurate. So we try not to show them on the show. But Combat Pack 1 has been confirmed by Warner Brothers UK that Chameleon will be one of the first cameo characters.
All right.
Now, saying that, in the last trailer, it looks like in-game dialogue, and Chameleon is in that scene, standing in the background behind Tanya. So I'm curious if Chameleon's going to be one of the in-game cameos, which Ed has confirmed that there's in-game cameos, and then there are basically guest cameos. And so if Chameleon is in-game cameo, she could be part of the Terrans again, and she could be one of the people that have shunned Reptile for his human form.
I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
Because she has a humanoid form.
Humanoid, but not human.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a bit weird to me because the entire point that I understood from what Reptile said is that he's able to transform into a human rather than, just having a basic lizard form, Saurian form. And it sounds to me like the rest of the Saurians do not have this ability aside from invisibility or camouflage, whatever you want to call it. So I'm wondering if once again, Chameleon and Reptile are the last two or the only two of their kind in some specific way, because you'll notice that Chameleon seems to be part of the Umgadi because she's wearing the yellow and is backing up Tanya.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, you said humanoid. She doesn't look human. She doesn't have, human skin. She has like this clear, translucent skin, kind of like she did in Armageddon. Kind of like she did in Armageddon. So it maybe there are different species of Saurians in Mortal Kombat 1 that have reptilian characteristics, and Reptile or Syzoth himself could have that Mortal Kombat movie look, while everybody else has some other type of style to them.
Yeah, that is true. Now, I've saw a really good comment by King Lime, and I'm curious because I don't think I've noticed this. Kenshi is missing his eyes without the blindfold. right before he shows them his reptile forms. Can you confirm this? Because I don't see Kenshi or Kenshi's face in that scene.
Is it this scene?
I only see Kung Lao and Johnny.
Yeah, I thought that was Kung Lao and Johnny. Well, that's something else that's kind of drove me crazy about this trailer is everybody changed outfits and I couldn't tell them apart anymore because like I still stand behind the idea that Mortal Kombat 11's face model technology was better than we're seeing right now. And I know we're not the final game, so they can still touch things up, but everybody looks the same if they're not wearing their signature looks. Like it's just that's not
I don't see it. I don't see that, but we've disagreed on this since the first trailer.
Yeah, maybe I have face blindness. Like, let us know in the chat. What do you guys think?
Well, sometimes like watching those first trailers, I knew that Johnny Cage and Kenshi were in there, and I was looking at Johnny Cage. I was like, is that a young Kenshi before he was blind, or like I was getting characters mixed up too.
Let's see.
People are talking about a Quan Chi hidden in the new trailer.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
We are gonna get there.
All right.
I like how it's referred to as a Quan Chi.
Well, I mean, the Quan Chi. I figured I would spot him immediately.
I'm rewinding a little bit just because King Lime said.
I don't see it. I'm actually searching on my side too. I don't see Johnny Cage. Kenshi without the eyes before we see Johnny and Kung Lao.
Is that Kenshi in the background here?
No, he means before he shows his lizard form.
Okay.
And that's Johnny Cage with Kenshi's sword?
Yeah, holding on to Kenshi, it seems. I don't understand that.
I mean, that could be part of the story. That could be.
Oh, hold on. We have to remember that Johnny, this is a good find, actually. Johnny has his sword in his mansion.
Yeah.
Right? So that's actually a very good point. Oh, hold on. Nova Prime is saying it too. They knocked him out. Look at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, that's for Quan Chi, I think.
Okay.
No, I think he's on the floor when they first show the prison. I'm looking.
Oh, whoa! Right there. Is that him? No.
You got me.
I see that the sandals and stuff. I could have sworn.
Kenshi in the cages. Kenshi in the cages. Okay, so we're looking for a knocked out Kenshi in the cages.
Yeah, I don't see it. I really don't see it.
Send us a second code.
Feel free to tweet it at us or something.
Yeah. Send us a picture on Twitter or Facebook.
Oh, the festival scene.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Guys, be clear. You just had us searching for 5 minutes for no reason.
All right, let's keep going a bit and then we can get there.
Well, okay, so let's move forward then. One more interesting point about Reptile's transformation abilities is that this is a big shift from the previous timeline, because previously he was not able to switch at will. And in reality, it was actually a sort of de-evolution from not being near people of his kind, or specifically the matriarch of his kind. So having this part of his combat and part of his just general abilities is a very, in my opinion, genius way of handling Reptile. Because for how long now have we had people saying, oh, I prefer human Reptile. Oh, I prefer, reptile, And in reality, we've actually got the perfect hybrid form.
Yeah,
Think about it.
I think this is, I agree, this is a perfect hybrid, especially his gameplay mechanic in this. Switching between the two different types for the different special moves. It's a very cool dynamic that they haven't done in the past. I don't think they've been able to do it in the past, honestly, with the way that technology was. But I mean, you guys could talk a little bit more about the gameplay here, because we'll
get to the gameplay after the lore.
All right.
But it is interesting as well how his camouflage seems. Well, I mean, we say it's a transformation, but really it looks like a camouflage, because even his sash seems to be his tail in disguise. His sash becomes the tail. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Now, Reptile seems to be, I say good in quotation marks now. He's helping the good guys. And I wonder, we've seen what we think is the Dragon King's army, and we know that in the past timeline, sort of Reptile's body was possessed by Onaga. for him to become Onaga. That's why he sort of disappeared in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if we're going to see something similar here.
Well, so not to cut you off too much and switch subjects, but you say that Reptile seems good here, but also we see Baraka walking around with everybody.
But he might be good too.
I mean, I don't think they've made so many characters good. I think there's going to be a lot of shifting alliances throughout this.
Okay, yeah, alliances. I say that's why I say good with quotation marks. They're allied with the good guys. Again, I quote quotation marks there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just wonder if Onaga will be tied to Reptile again. If so, does that mean Nitara will be tied to Reptile's sort of Onaga origin story again and such? I don't know. There's a lot that is up in the air, obviously, with this trailer now, and that's actually one of the beautiful things I think about this trailer. The misdirection that NRS have been creating with their trailers is actually very well done. The amount of times we've seen a character and we think that they're linked to somebody else, and then in reality, it's going to most likely be something completely different,
Yeah, I agree. I think Liu Kang's going to be using a lot of people in this storyline to get what he wants.
Should we shift into Ashrah?
Yes, definitely, because there's so much.
Let's get to Ashrah, because we have someone in comments saying that the whole cast is just a sausage party. and I'm just like, I mean, really?
Oh, I know. We get.
Do you want to pull up our image, Fenton?
Okay, we have the Twitter.
We have Ashrah. We have
a roster image. I mean,
oh yeah,
we have Ashrah, Line, Kitana, Melina. We have Sonya and Sareena cameos,
and Frost,
and with Frost cameo. So there's 7. Okay, and who else? And Tanya's playable. So there's 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty good so far, I would say. I mean, it's not 50%, but
I fully believe that we're going to get Nitara too. And I still hold out hopes that Sareena is somehow also base roster as well as cameo.
I mean, if people like her enough, there's a lot of gaming mechanics to her in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up making both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even traditionally, look at the ratios. Like, look at Mortal Kombat 1. One of the 7 characters was a female. Mortal Kombat 2. How many female characters were in Mortal Kombat 2?
Two.
Yeah, there's Kitana and Melina, and then you had a secret Jade fight, and then the other 10 were dudes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, look, it doesn't have to be half and half. Like most Mortal Kombat games, the majority of fighters are dudes, and we've got 5 playable female characters and 3 cameos plus more to come.
Right.
I think we're doing okay, honestly. As long as Sonya is not playable, that's all I care about.
I'm with you on that. Personally, I'm not saying this because I hate Sonya. I'm
tired of her.
Because I think I am tired of her. Exactly. And I actually, on one hand, for example, Jade. I know there's some discourse about Jade in the community. Well, while I like her character, I think she could also stand to miss out if it means that another 3D era character gets.
Yeah.
Basically, Tanya's Jade in this game. Like, sorry everybody, but everything I've seen so far of Tanya, I'm like, it's a new Jade. Like, story wise,
okay, fair.
Yeah, story wise, and even gameplay wise, a little bit. Her weapon's similar. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they switched out the names, honestly. If they're like,
we do get a Jade name drop with her being the Countess. I don't see them not capitalizing on that.
You mean in one of the character dialogues?
Yes, exactly. The intro to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've brought up our roster image here, and as we've said already, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base roster female characters, and then we've got 3 of the ladies on the cameo roster as well, and we've got Farah coming in the cameo roster for the DLC as well. As I've already said, I fully believe that Nitara is coming, and there's a very good case for either Jade or Sindel to be coming too. So, I mean, yes, okay, there are a lot more male characters. I definitely agree, and I would also like to see more. Like I said, I would love to see Sareena. I think that Kira even could be reimagined.
Oh man, I want
amazingly.
Kira. Kira is awesome.
Yeah.
She's stylish, man. I like her. I'd like to see Kira. I think it'd be cool to get Shiva back as well.
Yeah.
I'm not. For me, if we're getting a monster character, I say monster character, you know what I mean? But like a big character, 4 arms, something like that, I would prefer this time for it to be Kintaro, just purely because he's not had his time in the spotlight yet.
True, but he is so big. Like, I don't know.
I mean, they did it in X. With
Kintaro? Well, I mean, Goro, yeah, but dude, like Kintaro is much bigger than Goro, isn't he? I mean, at least I remember.
Similar. It's just the.
You really want to deal with that mid? You want to deal with Kintaro's arm reaching halfway across the screen? I don't. Fuck that. Kintaro's 9-frame half screen mid. Fuck that.
Fair point.
I think the chat agrees with Mayo too. They're saying, yeah.
But still, in terms of, I mean, female characters, I think, we have some good options. As we said, we have Kira. We have, in my opinion, Frost or Sareena, even though their cameos could be really good base roster characters. We've got the possibility of either Sonya, Jade, Sindel, Natara as well. And I mean, I don't know, like, you could also go with somebody like Tassia, for example, from Special Forces.
Oh, man, yeah, you're really digging deep there.
Wait, we want more female characters? Yeah. I'm throwing some out there.
You know what? Why not guest characters? Why don't we ever get any female guest characters?
Or Rain would be sick.
Even some guest, like Mortal Kombat Conquest guest characters, something like that would be, like, still
Taja, Vorpax.
Yeah, like Vorpax. Priya. I mean, we built out our perfect roster with Sonic on one of our past soul streams, and Vorpax, we all kind of were like, yeah, let's give Vorpax in there and give her all the ninja powers. Like,
yeah,
it's doable.
I want to see some movie heroes that are female. I want to see the Bride from Kill Bill. I want to see Rose McGowan's character from Grindhouse, where she has the machine gun leg.
Yeah.
Right? Like give me some badass chicks. That would be really cool.
Xena would be
best characters. A Xena warrior, the princess. Like just go crazy with it. That'd be really fun.
Yeah. But we don't. You're our characters.
Hey,
Celine from Underworld was one I wanted to say as well. Nova Prime said that.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
honestly, with her new show, could be dark enough.
Look, Quan Chi's coming back. That's all I care about, man. That's all. Like, it doesn't matter who I'm playing. As soon as Quan Chi drops, I'm going 100% in on Quan, man. I can't wait.
Yanni, that joke was kind of funny. The Sabrina one where you said, look how dark the new show is, especially because all the Mortal Kombat actors in the new upcoming movie are coming from that TV show into Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there we go.
Shall we continue with the lore of Ashrah?
Yeah, so let's fill in our guess on who Ashrah is.
Okay, Ashrah is
fill me in too, because all I know her is she's a lady in white with the hat from Deception, and that's all I know of her.
And she's missing the hat this time, sort of. Right?
Alternate costumes.
Yeah. So that's actually one thing I want to mention, because we commented on the possibility of gear on Garrus. The whole joke was Garrus. In his trailer, he seemed to demonstrate like some difference in his gear options on his back and on his chest and stuff. And people were like, but no, I don't see gear coming back. And I don't know. I'm getting more of a vibe that gear is coming back in some fashion with this game, because we do see characters with different skins, even just within this trailer. And I think that could be story specific. It could tie into the actual gameplay too. But then you also see Ashrah with a hat while she's in disguise in this obvious infiltration mission, right? The hat's in the trailer, exactly. So I don't know. I look at Johnny right there as well. He's got like this armored chest piece as well, and he's got the sword. So I wonder if he's going to have something that I'm not saying the sword will be gear, but like everybody seems to have some indication of like something that could potentially.
That's
be
not
gear.
Kenchi's sword, because
I just saw that too.
Right next to him, and he's got his own. He's got
his sword.
Yeah.
Unless Kenshi is still using a different sword and Johnny held on to Sento.
I think Kenshi has Sento, and Kenshi also has his hand on Johnny, using a Mazda like a seeing eye dog in that scene.
So there you go. So what if?
But the sword has like a
see?
more stylized design, so I think that's probably going to be Sento.
Possibly, but if he's holding on to Johnny, then maybe he can't see and he doesn't.
Oh, good
Sento,
point.
and he just got blinded.
Yeah.
Sento helps amplify his abilities.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Oh, sorry, we got totally off topic, but the whole point was Ashrah. So, Ashrah is a demon of the Nether Realm. She was one of Quan Chi's personal assassins before she, left. She came upon the Datusha, which she felt the calling to kill demons, and as she did so, she started to feel as if she was purifying her soul, and so she follows Datusha's will pretty much in killing demons. And in the previous timeline, her end goals are sort of, Noob Saibot before he absolutely destroys her, and then she goes after Natara. Really, it seems like they've kind of brought that forward to an extent here. We're seeing that she's left Quan Chi's assassin. She mentions that her sisters are furious at her for leaving. She's holding what looks to be like a Chris, so I'm assuming it's Datusha. She's using holy-looking light magic, which is something that Datusha seems to give her as well. And we will mention later, but she also seems to have a sort of dark take on her abilities too. So it looks like, even just from her appearance, she is, again, a demon. Now the question is whether or not her sisters are different assassins from the ones that, for example, the one that is on the screen right now, Sareena, whether or not she was part of the personal assassins with Sareena, Kia, and Jitaka. Because we've always known there to just be 3. Even in Conquest, we had 3. And I wonder if that's one reason why Sareena could be a cameo, with the whole potential of Quan Chi appearing in this trailer. And, I don't know, Sareena looking a bit more evil than we're used to.
Let's talk about Quan Chi, because you just brought it up again, and I think people are kind of dying. Do you know where that's at in the trailer?
Yeah, well, actually, first go back a bit to where Havik is first revealed.
Oh, okay.
That was right where we were.
Was it? My bad.
Yeah.
A bit further back, Phantom. Yeah, here, exactly. Okay, pause. Green Skull.
Green Skull, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That misdirection, they're making us think it's Havik, but we actually see Havik throw a red, I suppose, heart.
Yeah. That's
Green Skull.
That's Quan. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Forward to after we see Havik's fatal blow.
Okay.
Bit more. Such a good fatal blow. Here.
Oh, here.
That is Quan Chi.
Where?
Oh.
On the floor.
To the
How
right.
Do you know?
Look at the tattoos.
Okay.
Now,
but he's wearing a chicken costume.
But they all are.
Oh man.
I honestly, people have been saying it's Quan Chi, but I kind of looked a bit at the tattoos on this and Quan Chi's tattoos on the Combat Pack trailer. It could just be the way that his arms are turned and stuff, but I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced. I'm not buying it.
Then move forward a little bit.
No deal.
I'm making this happen. A bit more. Get ready. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
You went too far.
Did I? I don't think
a little bit too far. Pause. Look at the arm.
I mean, he's got a very similar tattoo, but I'm not convinced it's Quan Chi.
Okay, come on. He's got a similar tattoo. What more do you want? That is Quan Chi, in my opinion. I think that.
Okay, okay, but what is he dead? Is he drunk?
He's drunk. That's it. Probably
He's knocked out.
Quan Chi.
He's knocked out.
No, I'm just imagining Quan Chi, at this festival. And then he gets
Quan Chi's what are they? What is he doing here? Quan Chi is at a festival, and they sneak up on him, and they hit him in the back of the head with a beer bottle, and they put a chicken costume on him. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. We'll see.
I'm sending this over to you, Phantom. Pull this up.
Yeah, you got a good picture comparison. That's what I really want to see. There we go. Let me Let's see. All right, so let us know.
I'm making this happen. Hold
the
on.
comments.
I'm making this happen. Trailer.
I'm still not convinced. I'm trying to get it.
I'm making it happen.
Quan
Don't
Chi. Is this Quan Chi when he was like 16 before ever?
He
He was just working as a guard at the chicken festival.
I'm about to prove everybody wrong. Hold on. Getting that for you.
Javier
Hold
Pinchera says he hears that people, or wait, I lost it. People were saying that he might be there to poison Melina. That's what people have been. Or that was somebody else. Luca 5. I heard people saying Quan Chi wants to poison Melina with the plague. We actually did a bite-size episode for that recently, and Yanni explored the idea that maybe Shang Tsung has some kind of hand again in the Tarkat plague. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout out Yanni's video on that.
Oh, thank you. I've sent you over an image.
Oh, you got another one? Okay. Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, Reptile turns invisible. That's a great point, actually. I'm gonna bring that up.
Okay, yeah, those are the spikes around his
Okay.
armor there.
Mm-hmm.
The
But-
tattoos on the left. God
Look-
damn it! It's Quan Chi in a chicken costume.
It is the spikes, but maybe Quan Chi's working with them in this, and then they knock him out. Maybe drink too much while he's on a mission with them.
Fine, I don't care about the story anymore. Do whatever you want.
See, what I was saying though is look at Quan Chi's little band here, how it kind of
Yeah.
circles down, and
Yeah, and that one doesn't.
it kind of points straight out. And I could just be nitpicking, but he
You
is
are
wearing the
nitpicking.
same armor, so.
You're nitpicking.
The mighty Mander Extra says, "Nah, they are kidnapping his ass."
Exactly. So have I made my point?
Yeah.
I'm more convinced than I was.
Yeah, but
I'm
everybody
I'm just
watching,
gonna-
that's my amazing paint skills, by the way. Thank you very
I'm gonna continue to live in denial for the next 5 weeks,
much.
and then check back with me later.
All right.
People are pointing
if
out
you really
that
pay
that
attention right before
green
they show
skull
the fight
confirms
between
it.
Ashrah and Havik. Yep, we've commented on the green skull. We have.
all right. Well,
Hangover MK edition.
All
All right.
All right, what's next?
Yeah.
So we were talking about Ashrah. Now, the only I think we've kind of covered it, really, to be honest. We don't expect Holy Light of Demons, and so I expect the Datusha really is confirmed with her. And so I wonder if that means that we're going to see any confrontation between her and possibly Natara, but also possibly Bihan again. This time not as Noob Saibot.
Quan Chicken.
Fun chicken. We gotta say it properly. Quan Chicken.
Quan Chicken. He's he's from Guadalajara.
Oh man.
I'm gone. Yanni, you're gonna have to run the rest of the show.
The last point I have about Ashrah is
Yeah.
her words to Havik. It really makes her sound like she's on the side of light.
Yeah, you want me to play that?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you can.
For war, you will accept chaos by choice or by force.
Killing one realm to free another is a heinous proposition. One I won't let you fulfill.
So she's supposed to be one of Quan Chi's assassins,
Mhm.
assuming based on everything she said, as well as her past lore. But then she is definitely demonstrating that she is more on the side of light this time than she was, at least previously. She is completely against Havik trying to, well, actually I'll cover this later, but Havik doing something evil, let's just say, and we will come back to his voice line in a little bit. But Yep. Sorry. Mail?
This is a little. I didn't catch this before. It's kind of unintentionally funny, but she gets this big dramatic line. She's like, "That's a heinous proposition. I will not let you." And then Havik just, it's just like, watch it. She's so serious that he's just like, shut the fuck up. It's great.
Choice or by force.
Killing one realm to free another is a heinous proposition. One I won't let you fulfill.
Wow, that's great.
That is actually great. All right, shall we move on to Havik?
Let you full.
Yeah, let's talk Havik.
Will you bring up his bio?
That's what I asked.
That's a kind of a controversial
the bio
of his character. Yeah, that his bio is basically Darius's old bio.
Oh, it's more than just Darius's. It's Dairu's too.
Yeah, like, I mean, does this not fundamentally change who Havik is?
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Yes, but I think I have a case for why it might be further misdirection.
Let me. Here we go. Here's the bio.
All right, you want me to take this?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so citizen of the realm of Sado, Havik is sworn to take down its oppressive regime and free his people. Their order is prized above all else. Lawbreaking is met with strict punishment. Its citizens live in strictly regulated castes. As a member of Sado's lowest caste, Havik has had neither rights nor privileges. He seethed with anger at the injustice when he is brutally punished for a minor crime. I feel like the grammar in these is a bit off sometimes. When he is brutally punished for a minor crime, Havik finally decides to act. He sets out to destroy Sado's regime and replace it with an anarchist utopia. Once he breaks Sado's social order, Havik will free its citizens. Together they will live in blessed anarchy. That is Havik, the rebellious anarchist. So, okay. Mayo, go for it first. You're saying that it sounds like Darius's bio.
I mean, that's what I was reading online. I was reading a lot of the comparisons, and then I looked up, Darius's info because I didn't remember anything about Darius other than I thought he was lame as shit. and now here I am 20 years later, and I'm super hyped for him. I don't even understand what's going on inside me. But yeah, I looked up the bio of Darius, and you should. Hold on, I have it right here. Where is it? I thought I had it. Damn it.
Oh, good. I've actually got
it says leader of the resistance in the realm of order. Darius lives a life in the shadows. His ambition is to overthrow the oppressive regime that strangles freedom. To some, he is a hero, but to others, he is nothing more than a terrorist. So that realm of order, right? Overthrowing an oppressive regime, all right? That's kind of what we're seeing in here with Havik. And if you read Havik's old bio, it's definitely nothing like this. So, but the thing is, we're also looking at a different part of the timeline. And so this could easily be a young Havik, and that what we see later in the Deception time is Havik after the creation of the Chaos realm, which they're not even talking about here, but it sounds like that's what he wants to create eventually. So
exactly.
He does seem to have aspects of other people's bios, similar motivations, similar points of origins, but going in very different directions.
Well, now everything you said is correct. Now here, Eddie Herta says Saturn Chaos Realm doesn't exist though, and this is something that even I thought until I watched this trailer about 4,000 more times. I think there's a bit more going on to Chaos Realm than we think. See here, the Mighty Mander Extra says in this timeline, Havik is trying to create Chaos Realm.
Yeah, you get that from the bio at the end of it, because it says that he sets out to destroy Sado's regime and replace it with an anarchist utopia, and together they will live in blessed anarchy. That sounds like someone who wants to create chaos. Yeah. And he says it in his intro. He's like, you will accept chaos by choice or by force. He wants to set out to create this world. Okay,
I'm going to take you through a couple of points coming together in a final conclusion, which will make you see it from a different perspective. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, as we're saying, and even I thought prior, there is no Chaos Realm, right? It specifically says that Havik is a citizen of the realm of Sado. Citizen, not originated from, but a citizen
That's true.
of. And he is in Sado's lowest caste. Why is he in the lowest caste? Right? Now,
Because he's an outsider, a foreigner, maybe?
exactly. So he used to be the cleric of chaos. He's looking to free his people, specifically his people, right?
Yeah.
He has no rights, privileges. He's angry at injustice. Instead, right now, of being focused on chaos, he's mostly angry at the injustice, correct? And he is brutally punished for a minor crime. Now, initially, I looked at this and I thought, if he's from Sado, how does he have the ability to regenerate his limbs and seemingly use chaos magic?
Yeah.
Right? We see magical sparks as he fights. He destroys his arm. He literally pulls it off and it grows back and we see purple glow, right? So my first thought is, I mean, if we know about the Greek legend of Prometheus, for example, stole fire from the gods, gave to mankind, was punished. Every night his liver was eaten and grew back, right? So maybe, firstly, this is the brutal punishment from Sado. And, you know, they've made it so that he feels pain constantly, his body is constantly deteriorating, etc., and it's driven him insane. Or, where I think is more likely, right now, he's intent on destroying Sado's regime and replacing it with an anarchist utopia. It specifically says that in his bio, living in blessed anarchy. Could we see the creation of Chaos Realm? And if so, what does that mean for the Kamidogu? Because the Kamidogu, if they exist, represent the realms. Will they feature, especially if Onaga's coming? But, Phantom, this is my final point. Can you go back to where Ashrah introduces, or speaks rather, to Havik, where Havik is introduced?
Mm-hmm. Do you want a bit audio?
With audio, please, yes.
Okay.
Listen to her words.
Ashrah and Sizos, come. The monks must prepare you for war. You will accept chaos by choice or by force.
Killing one realm to free another is a heinous proposition.
Pause.
One I won't let you
Free another. Killing one realm to free another is a heinous proposition.
Mm-hmm.
Not to create, to free.
Yeah.
He's saving Chaos Realm, as Javier just said.
Okay.
Chaos Realm does exist, but it might have been annexed possibly by Sado, whether it's by the Mortal Kombat tournament or something else, right? Just as we've seen with Edenia and Outworld, for example. The whole point of the Mortal Kombat tournament with Earthrealm, between Shao Kahn and Earthrealm up until now. Maybe this is why Havik is part of the lowest in caste. Maybe.
Yeah, it just says he's a citizen. We don't even know anything about his citizenship. He could have been enslaved for all we know, and then he becomes a citizen.
His people.
Why are you getting me back into Mortal Kombat lore? Boy, I gave this shit up after Cassie Cage beat Shinnok, and I haven't given a shit for 8 years. I was like, change all the characters. I don't fucking care. And now I'm like, yeah, man. Okay. Fuck.
My pleasure. Welcome back.
Yeah, you're pulling me back in.
Dante makes a good point in the chat too. He says Sado means accuracy or precision. So he is almost literally bringing chaos to order in his clan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then real quick, I put together a little something for everybody. And
I should have had a mic drop there, by the way. Oh, this is beautiful. We're posting that later. Get the meme run logo.
I'm chicken versus Quan Chi. Thank you. All right, and that's my contribution to the MK1 community right there. I'm out.
Oh, that's great. All right, so let's continue a little bit. Sorry, with Havik. Now
we have to call him, instead of Quan Chicken, we have to call him Juan Pollo.
Actually, it's funny you say that because there's an amazing meme from the past. Actually, I didn't create this. I hope not, because otherwise I'm really like talking big of myself. But there was a meme about, no, it wasn't my own. It was Quan Chi and Scorpion like speaking to each other in Spanish, and they were, I think Quan Chi was wearing a sombrero or something. You've just reminded me. I'm gonna see if I can find that and send that over.
Like from my Reptile video I just put out, where they have Quan Chi in the sombrero.
What? I missed that.
You have to check it out.
I saw that. I did see that part.
I put up a parody video.
That sounds great.
I talked about another realm pandering to the Latin American community by putting Quan Chi in a sombrero and calling him Quan Chingon. And
And you had the option for Juanchi, and you didn't.
no, but I went with Chingon instead of Juan, and I put a little PNG sombrero on him, this big oversized sombrero, and no one in the comments caught the joke that in his sombrero there's a beer, but it's a Foster's. No one caught it.
I didn't notice that part.
Fuck, no one catches those little tiny jokes I put in my video.
I'm sure there's somebody who did, and they're watching this like, no, I did. I did see it.
I was just confused.
Fucking Foster's in his sombrero.
All right. So I want to address what you were saying about Havik's bio being very similar to Darius's. Now, I mentioned that he actually, in my opinion, has a sort of blend of Darius's and Dairu's. And I don't think they've given him Darius's story exactly, because Darius is still there. He's a cameo. Now, why is he a cameo? I think that Darius and Havik... Sorry? Too lame?
Too lame.
Well, I think that Darius is actually going to be linked to Havik. They're going to be fighting back against the regime together in the story, potentially. But if we look back at the actual bios, because you mentioned Darius, freedom fighter, but, technically terrorist in a way. Dairu's background has him being punished for killing someone in anger after they killed his family. And he was recruited by Darius as he escaped during a riot, also instigated by Darius. Now, what also is heavily implied, not ever completely confirmed, is that Darius is the one who got Dairu's family killed and, pretty much got him into jail so that he could get him out. His whole MO was, in terms of recruitment, was getting Satan guards out of, or rather just getting people out of jail and recruiting them to his cause because they felt like they owed him, right? And that they were angry at the Sado realm and its order. So I think that actually Havik has more in common with Dairu here than he does with Darius's bio. So that also makes me wonder is if I'm wrong about Havik being initially from the Chaos realm, that I wonder if he potentially was originally Dairu in this timeline, that they've sort of merged the character. But I think this is less likely than my other theory.
The fact that they're giving Saito so many different aspects of other characters, I think they've merged him with both of them basically. I think this version of Saito is going to fill the role that we had for some of those past characters, because this isn't, a lot of people keep thinking this is a reboot like Mortal Kombat 9. It's not. I mean, it's a brand new game. The stories can be completely different, brand new. Like, they can do whatever they want. Like, I mean, we got Sub-Zero and Scorpion being brothers now, and Hanzo Hasashi's gone as far as we can tell. So, yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening.
You think that Dairu has basically been absorbed by Havik
into this character?
I can see that, because I mean look, if we're being honest, the most interesting thing about Dairu was his 8-frame full screen launching ground pound.
Yeah.
Our friend Evil Star Legacy is probably watching this and it's like,
that's literally the only memorable thing about the character. And look, and I'm speaking as a Dairu main, okay? That's my guy.
It gets better.
So I'm fine. Let him be absorbed by Havik. I guess I'm not going to really shed a tear, as long as Havik also gets the 8-frame full screen launching ground pound.
It could be that maybe it's a combination of the two things I said as well. Maybe he's just taking Dairu's backstory, but Dairu just doesn't exist anymore, and Havik was not Dairu previously.
Right? No, I'm not saying he was him, but yeah, kind of absorbing the general idea of the character into his own character. I mean, yeah, sure, it's possible. It certainly is possible.
What's interesting as well, by the way, is can you find a shot of Havik, Phantom? Like gameplay Havik?
Let me see.
Further on than that. Too far. There. Oh, we've lost it. Or go. Yeah, here. No. Show me like a full shot of Havik. There. Oh, you had it. Basically, what I'm talking about is the arm blade he's got.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that's interesting about this is, firstly, he's not using a Morning Star anymore. Instead of having a mace, he's using literally his own arm. But on top of that, not only does he seem to have bits of Darius's story as well as Dairu's, he also is using what was technically Darius's weapon, the gauntlet, which was pretty much a claw on his wrist.
Really? Okay.
Can you try? Actually, Phantom, I'll just send you a picture. Hold on, Darius. Here we go.
Dairu.
There you go.
You're talking about Darius or Dairu?
Darius. Got that, Phantom?
Trying to get it to pull up. I don't think he sent me a GIF.
Oh no! I sent you a PNG.
Oh, just another one.
No, that was the one I sent you.
Oh, I don't know, it's getting converted to it for whatever reason.
1 second. I'll get you another picture. Oh, that's also PNG. I'm gonna send you a screenshot of the image for extra quality. Here you go.
While I'm pulling this up, just a quick shout out. Mortal Kombat Online is hosting a contest right now where you can win a copy of Mortal Kombat 1. Sorry, did I say Mortal Kombat 1's hosting it? I meant Mortal Kombat Online is. So I'll put that in the chat just for everybody to have it so you can get a chance to win a copy of Mortal Kombat 1 for whichever platform you have. They got one for everything except for PC and Switch, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they got a PC one too?
Image has PS5, Xbox Series X, and Steam.
Nice. So I'll throw that in the chat for all of our listeners so you can get a chance to win that. All right, go ahead, Yannick. Keep going. Where were you?
There, do you see the wrist plate? I know it's not exactly the same, but I find it quite interesting that he's taken parts of Darius' story as well. And
because when he goes in for that fatal blow and he's like stabbing into their face with those claws he has on his wrist.
Well, that's literally his bones, actually. So
what's
crazy about his fatal blow?
At first it's the claws, and then it becomes the bones.
Yeah,
does it?
He literally mauls them so hard he breaks his own arms off to the point that they're bone, and then he impales them with his bones.
Wow,
it is
all
crazy.
Right.
But I mean, we do have Darius as a cameo.
We do, but he does not have his weapons.
Does he not? I thought he did, because
no, I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
When they're spinning him around and stuff, it seems like you have streaks that I thought were his blade reflection or something like that.
I don't remember seeing his. No, I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He doesn't even have anything aside from the bracelets. There, it's just the bracelets on his wrists.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, the last thing I wanted to kind of bring up about Havik is we've been talking about Sado, and Mayo, you've mentioned Darius. We've talked about Dairu as well. We're talking about Havik potentially being from Sado or from the Chaos Realm, or both in some regard. One person that it's synonymous with the Order realm, Phantom. Who is it? And that we haven't heard mention of yet.
The guy that I hate. What's his face?
The guy you hate, exactly. That's what I'm asking you.
Hotaru? Was that
Hotaru, exactly.
Yeah. It's such a dumb character.
It's so weird to me.
I always thought he looked cool. I
he
like
is
his
cool.
look.
I hate him. Never been a fan. I mean, it's dumb.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It is so weird to me that he is not involved in any way so far, at least, even based on the bios. And also that Ed Boon had specifically tweeted in response to a question about Hotaru saying, "No Taru." Oh, hey, Muggsy, how you doing? So, King Mandrill just asked as well, do you think we see Hotaru at all? So, I don't know. It's weird to me because, again, if Onaga is involved, Hotaru was actually an ally to Onaga.
Yeah.
To the order that he would bring.
Right. That's a good point.
Dude,
but
no,
I
was just gonna say, looking at him, if you brought him in with a 1-to-1 translation of his deception look with the staff. That could be a pretty.
I think he had a Naginata, didn't he?
I'm seeing him holding a staff.
Having a look now. Either way, like it was a pole arm of some sort, but
yeah, it's got like a blade on the end of it.
Yeah, there we go. It's a
I don't know, man. I think that could be a pretty cool character.
I think he is sick, especially with his lava abilities and the grasshopper kick and stuff. I think Phantom just has zero taste.
It's the flag. It's the flag, the samurai flags. I'm like, nah.
I love the flags.
It's so good.
I love the flags, man.
It's dumb. Get him out of here.
Have you ever seen his alternate Phantom?
I think so. I think anytime I played him, that's the only one I would play because
it's so cool. I mean, okay, why were you playing him if you didn't like him?
Well, because I like playing the game. I play all the characters.
Here, sending you another picture. Bring this one up.
Yeah.
I think that Otaru, as Amir says, is a sure DLC bet. I think he has very high chance of DLC too. I really do. With all this focus on Sato, I think he's actually going to be part of the story and just hasn't been revealed.
Yeah, the alternate's a cool costume.
Mm-hmm. Give me that. So, Sareena time?
Oh, yeah. So, Yanni, I'm giving you a 15-minute limit on your Sareena commentary.
Okay, first appearance of Sareena was the Sub-Zero game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Mythology is good. Yeah.
Played by
Leah
Montalongo.
Yeah.
Right? Did I even say that right? I always mess up her pronunciation of her name, and I feel bad for that.
I'll tell
I was right, Montalongo. Yeah. Who is lovely, by the way. And I am very happy to see Sareena make it in. As mentioned earlier, when she came up on the trailer, I went absolutely ballistic. If you haven't seen our reaction, it's very genuine, honestly. Oh, Delara's posted a Quan Chicken sketch on our latest post. You want to bring that up, Phantom?
Yeah, go for it.
Let me find it. That's amazing. I can't wait. Let's see.
On our latest post.
Thank you, Delara.
Oh my god.
Wait. Quam? Why is there an M at the end?
No, that's an N. It's cursive.
That's not a cursive N. That's a cursive M. Quam chicken? Okay.
And I was about to say she has better handwriting than me. What are these standards, Mayo?
Okay. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's
amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you.
If you're not following Delara, by the way, she is an amazing artist. So
yes.
Go check her work out. She has done some seriously sick artwork.
All right. I'm so glad we got to derail from Sareena for a bit.
So, did you guys see the Reddit post about someone saying that NetherRealm Studios took their design for Sareena that they posted on Reddit 2 years ago?
Yeah, I did see that. Yes, and I'm seeing a few arguments.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, we could bring it up. I think it's a. You want to bring up the artwork, maybe, Phantom?
Yeah.
Or
I got a link to it.
Safe to?
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got it right there.
All right. And I think I have a comparison photo somewhere too. So this artwork is by Ember Island. And it says, my Mortal Kombat 11 concepts by me. I thought it would be cool if she had her normal form and then a demon form, or stance that she uses in special moves to gain new fire attacks. It would be awesome to see her reimagined in a new game. I mean, that does sound a lot like her gameplay. Mm-hmm. And this is the concept art that the artist made.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do we all think?
It is very, very, very similar.
Very, 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 very similar. Especially the demon form thing. I mean, look, I don't know the history. I don't know if anyone has ever had this idea before. I don't know if anything like this has appeared in other MK games. But if this is a wholly unique creation by someone 2 years ago, and then that's exactly what we're seeing in the new game, then I don't know. What do you say?
Well, Phantom, do you want to bring up the actual demon form from the trailer? Now, yeah. As a Sareena fan, obviously, anytime there was a Sareena post that ever came up, I was there. And I can honestly say that there have been a lot of discussions as to Sareena firstly having a demon form, and secondly having, hell abilities, fire attacks, things like that. This is not the first time, but it was illustrated here, as we can see. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Ember Island. I don't want to take anything away from the creator at NRS either, in case. I don't want to make any accusations. Of course not, you know? Like, this is just us having a look at the controversy, and I wonder if it'll be addressed. But it is important to note that this is not the first time this has ever been discussed for Sareena. It's been a very old, like, discussion in the community. And as you can see here, there are some differences. Firstly, there's no hair.
Yeah.
Secondly, the actual emblem on her chest is not the same either. And if you also think about it, again, I don't want to take anything away from the artist, by the way. I love that artwork. I really loved it when they posted it. I just want to be careful here with any accusations. But it's not the first time that somebody suggested a demon form for Sareena. And also, if you think about it, it is a very, I don't want to say generic with a negative meaning here. I really don't, because it's also Sareena's demon form for both the game and the artwork, and I love both. But when you think of a demon, this is kind of a quote-unquote generic look that you would expect.
It's a cartoony demon. It's like a Looney Tunes demon.
To an extent, like I would even say, like if you think of say Nightcrawler from X-Men, he's blue and everything, but you can see similar aspects with the tail, the horns that he does grow occasionally, I think, or does he still have? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while, but like
Nightcrawler's father too is basically a male version of this.
So, exactly.
Sure. What about the hook swords?
So
yeah, that's a good point.
She's had the comma that's in the image. Firstly, you want to pull up the artwork again, Phantom? She had comma
that in other games.
Mythologies.
Okay, all right, that's fair then.
So she actually, if I remember correctly, had 2 comma rather than on a chain. Which, if we remember, everybody, Scorpion has that in Mortal Kombat 1, and it's technically a Kusarigama because it's on a chain. But here, instead of seeing comma, she's using sickles. And actually, funnily enough, those are, I'm pretty sure, almost the exact same design as the sickles that Noob Saibot, as one set of gear that Noob Saibot used from Mortal Kombat 11. And I think that's an intentional choice, because it's a sort of callback to Noob Saibot, who she obviously has a lot of links with.
She does? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So for people who aren't aware, including Mayo, in mythologies, Sub-Zero is in the Nether Realm trying to reclaim Shinnok's amulet, which he gave to them pretty much. And then Raiden sends it back, is like, go clean your shit up. All right. And along the way, he fights Kia Jataka and then Sareena, whom he saves. And Sareena actually betrays Quan Chi and helps, or tries to help. I don't know, she helps them against Quan Chi. And so they defeat Quan Chi. But then as she's trying to escape with Bihan, and it's also kind of hinted at or implied that it's becoming sort of romantic between the two, but that's a whole different argument. She is shot in the back by Shinnok's powers and seemingly killed. So Bihan, Sub-Zero at the time, has to escape without her. He thinks she's dead, when in reality, Shinnok had just destroyed her human form, and she actually reverted back to a demon in the Netherrealm and was tortured for her betrayal until she was able to escape.
No one knows this. You're making this up.
No, it's so true. I thought the same thing, and I started looking it up because I was working on a video for Yanni, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is all true. So basically, long story short, just to recap that, she was friends with Bihan, who became Noob Saibot before they both got
pretty much. And Bihan was Noob Saibot in the previous timeline, and he is now back to being Sub-Zero.
Yeah,
and we all wonder what's going to happen with Noob Saibot at this point because of Kuai Liang's confirmation as Scorpion this time. So, to her design, we've talked about the demon form. It's the first time ever that Sareena's demon form has been visualized in Mortal Kombat officially.
Okay.
It's the first time we've ever seen it. She has reverted back to it in, I think it was in DA that they confirmed it. She managed to escape the Nether
they
Realm.
never showed it though, did they? They just showed her.
They never did.
Yeah.
No. So she's able to escape because Scorpion is chasing after Quan Chi, and Quan Chi leaves the portal open, and she escapes Tao World and learns to feed off the energy of the realms so as to gain a human form rather than relying on Quan Chi's sorcery. And now we're seeing that she has a demon form, and even her face, in my opinion, looks a lot more demonic than it used to. Phantom, I might send over a picture of her MKX look to you, which to me was actually her perfect look. I prefer it over this one, but I'm just happy she's back.
I just want to make
she
a
looked
quick
a lot more human.
little note. So as I was looking up that photo, there's I just typed in Sareena demon form into Google Images, and there's so much fan art that comes out showcasing her in the exact same style. The big difference, of course, is the emblem on and that's, I think, the biggest part of that argument.
I suppose, yeah.
But everybody draws her the same way for whatever reason. Yeah. So just adding that little note to it.
Sent you over her image, by the way. This is her MKX look.
Sareena was MKX?
In the story mode.
Story.
She was not
playable.
Okay. Which is a shame, because she looked amazing, in my opinion. This is her best look, in my opinion, so far.
Okay.
She is leading. She's helping the fight against the Netherrealm forces, even though they are technically her original species, as she's betrayed Quan Chi. And she does specifically mention how Bi-Han helped save her in the past. So that was pretty much confirming that mythologies had also taken place in the rebooted timeline. Now, obviously, entirely new timeline here.
Yeah.
And it looks like Sareena might be, or at least look more evil, but I say that bearing in mind that Ashrah technically also looks evil, aside from the white, pure light as well, that she can rely on. But I wonder if we're going to see her become good again.
Well, I like that she has, rather than the face tattoos, it's like face branding in this version.
I prefer the tattoos, but this is sick. I do it.
Yeah. I mean, you prefer, you're just in love with Leah. That's the what's really going on. But yeah, hold on, let me pull up. This is this is Yanni's childhood watching Mortal Kombat.
So is that Yanni in the chair?
Yeah, that was Yanni, and that's Sareena coming to visit him, played by Leah.
By the way, if you've never seen the bloopers of mythologies, they are freaking hilarious. Richard DeVizio is just hilarious in this, and she had to do this scene a million times. Yeah. And then finally, when she got it right,
she claps for him.
Richard DeVizio messed it up that time too. It's so funny. But,
that's why Yanni wants a pretty Sareena back.
Don't reduce Sareena's character and Leah's portrayal like that. Thank you very much for that tip. But going back, she does have some demonic abilities, which we're going to talk about really now with the gameplay. But I don't know. I get the vibe that she's here, one, because she is helping Quan Chi, maybe, if she doesn't betray him, or she's there to work with Bi-Han in some manner again, or she's there to fight against Ashrah.
Now, you're assuming, though, that she's got a story role.
Well, I fully believe that the cameos will have story roles, at least the base roster cameos.
I don't think they all. I don't.
Not all of them. Maybe we won't see Striker or
right.
Like who knows? But someone like Sareena, she. Or Darius, pulling out people that haven't been in the games for 20 years. I feel like you need to introduce them in some way so people know who they are. People know who Cyrex is, right? But people don't know who Sareena is. People don't know who Darius is. And so you need to give them something in story mode so we at least get their names and their backstory.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ed said basically there are going to be some in-game cameos.
Well, you keep saying in game. Do you mean in story?
Yes. So sorry, story cameos.
So to clarify this, now I think within the story we actually see either Kenshi and or Melina at some point as cameos, and I think that's what he kind of meant, as well as Chameleon, because Chameleon, as we've seen with Tanya, does pop up as a cameo, but then she's not part of the base cameo roster. But then also, it looks like we're seeing Kenshi in disguise as a cameo fighter too. And that to me implies that we can't use Kenshi as a cameo. I agree with you, by the way, Eddie. I hope for a Mythology Sareena skin. But that to me implies that is the answer to what Ed Boon was specifically saying there, as well as Canadian.
That now a lot of our conversations make sense, because you're always like, yeah, I think Cyrex and Sector are going to be in the game in the story mode. I'm like, I'm under the impression that these characters aren't going to be part of the story. Maybe a couple of them will be sprinkled throughout it, like Chameleon, and possibly Sareena. But yeah, that's a good question, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out.
The other thing is that Sareena, I'm sorry, but Sareena has way too much detail here to not be part of the story. I fully believe
that she's so detailed in the model.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Like,
these are most detailed cameo so far.
Exactly. Yes, and on top of that, it really looks gameplay wise, like as well as aesthetically, that she could be playable roster at some point. If it's not base, it's combat pack, in my opinion. And I really hope everybody pushes with me to make that happen. But make my dream come true. But I really do believe that there's a lot more going on to Sareena than people may think. For example, yourself, Phantom, and I think she will be part of the story, especially with Quan Chi, Ashrah, and Bihan all featuring in this. I really do. Just those three alone make it important. And same with Darius as well, as the Mighty Mander says.
Somebody asked a question earlier, Yanni. Jacob Cactus says, do you think demons are only women in this timeline? Ashrah says something about sisters only.
Okay, to answer this, the reason that Ashrah says sisters is because she was one of Quan Chi's personal assassins, and so far, all of Quan Chi's personal assassins ever confirmed, even in Conquest, like the show Conquest, were all female characters.
What a pimp, man! What a pimp!
Yeah.
In Conquest.
I mean, if you've not seen Conquest, yeah, can confirm. But that's why I think I don't think that all the demons are only women. Like, for all we know, we could see like Dramin or Moloch as cameos, or even base roster. Like, they're male demons, right? As far as, I mean, I guess no, it has been confirmed. They always say he in their bios.
Mm-hmm.
So there are male demons, and also one thing to bear in mind as well is Quan Chi is technically a demon.
Oh, so, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Scarlet, Scarlet would be.
Oh, I'd love to see Scarlet. She's one of my favorites.
See Scarlet for sure. She's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so should we move on to gameplay a bit?
One last point, and then we can.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
It relates to
Sareena. We know, Yanni.
Well, no, actually, to Bihan.
Okay, what do you got?
We've been talking. I don't know if you've been watching in the trailers and realizing this as well, Mayo, but we've been watching Bihan and discussing how he seems to be very aggressive and very dark in comparison to his previous self prior to becoming Noob Saibot. Now, actually, the Fourth Snakes put out a very good video on this very recently, and I think we also discussed this very recently too, Phantom, about Bihan not actually being evil as people thought. Bihan never actually demonstrated any evil or capacity for evil to the extent that people say, until after he became Noob Saibot, and that was only because he became corrupted. That was the entire point of Noob Saibot's creation. So Bihan in this timeline really demonstrates a darker self, and that's indicated within his voice line. If you remember Phantom, where he says, we could achieve greatness, and that's the first time he actually sounds like Noob Saibot from MK1. You know, very dark voice to him, very aggressive. And I wonder if Sareena being here, as well as some of the character dialogues that we've seen, imply that Bihan this time, instead of saving Sareena, could be corrupted by Sareena. It goes the other way around.
That'd be awesome. Just saying. Do you want to pull up that clip just so people can hear it? Because that's.
Let me see if I've got. I think it's on our recent Twitter. Let me
have it.
For you. Hold on.
I got it.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
All right. All right. So this is what Yanni's referring to.
We settle for defending Earthrealm when we could help lead it. We will achieve greatness.
We can't abandon tradition.
And you can hear the contrast just from the first line and then the second.
We have been expecting you.
Oh, but yeah, I'll play that part again.
Yeah, this is the first like 5 seconds or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
When we could help lead it. We will achieve greatness.
No,
you
that
see what
doesn't
I mean?
even sound like the same voice.
Right.
It sounds like the voice being played over the cutscene. That maybe that's not even Sub-Zero talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it sounds enough like Bihan's voice, just darker. I really do. You could be right. It could be further misdirection. But the fact that Smoke, if you play the next line, sorry, Phantom, Smoke replies,
Can't abandon tradition.
"We can't abandon tradition." It
Well, we
sounds
don't-
like he's responding specifically to Bihan
But
becoming
that's
darker, trying to ditch
that's also the magic of editing. Those could
Yeah.
be two completely different cutscenes being mashed together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we kind of talked about this previously too. Like, so much of this trailer is misdirection. Like, even like soon after, he's like, "We've been waiting for you," and then it shows Rain, who has a completely different voice, and it's makes it seem like Rain's been waiting for the Lin Kuei to show up.
Well, he
but
was
it-
actually. He does say Liu Kang sent you to learn our
yeah,
secrets.
but I mean,
Yeah.
he's not the one that says that line. "We've been
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for you." So yeah, this whole trailer is in all the trailers so far. Like Mortal Kombat 1's reveal, the official announcement one, it looks like Shang Tsung gets killed in storyline in the story mode, and then later we find out that that's just Liu Kang's fatality being done on Shang Tsung. So much of the story is misdirection, and
Yeah.
the way that they've done all these trailers too so far have been like,
genius.
yeah, it really is, because they're little mini stories, but they don't really reveal anything because they mash it up in a way that you're like, you think you know what's going on in each of these trailers, but you have no idea.
If like unless you are seeing two characters speaking and responding to each other without a cut in the camera
And with no
then,
masks
then
on.
there is literally no way to know who
Yep.
is responding to who and who is actually talking when you hear this stuff.
Yeah.
Eddie Herta says, Garrus probably said, "We've been expecting you." And just to let you know, that's been confirmed to not be Garrus in that
Or
scene.
rather deconfirmed.
Yeah.
By Dominic himself.
Yeah.
He has specifically stated that is not Garrus. And also, Mighty Mander asking, are those first two lines both Sub-Zero? Well, I mean, I personally think so. Mayo does not. Phantom, I think you're more on my side for once ever.
Yeah, I think they could possibly be Sub-Zero and a
it's
darker Sub-Zero.
the context as well. If you go back to just the first line again, the first voice line, he says,
We settle for defending Earthrealm when we could help lead
Pause.
it.
See, he seems to be going darker. He wants to take over Earthrealm instead of defend it. And then the next line, in my opinion, sounds just enough like his current voice that we just heard.
We will achieve greatness.
That to me sounds like the same voice actor, personally. But I could be completely wrong.
Well, and we've interviewed Jameson Price previously, who did Noob Saibot's voice in, was it Mortal Kombat 9, Yanni?
I think it was 9, yes.
And he was talking about the way that he played Noob Saibot. Like, he demonstrated how he did the voice, and he's like, but it doesn't sound like Noob Saibot because they added augmentation and effects over top of my voice to make it
Like
into
a
Noob Saibot.
vocoder use.
Yeah, and honestly, the way that second voice sounds, it sounds like they did a similar technique. So that's why I kind of lean with Yanni on this one. I usually disagree with everything he says, but so I don't know. But it'll be interesting if that is how they take the story route, and we do get Noob Saibot eventually. Because then what happens to Sub-Zero? No more Sub-Zeros?
I mean, that's the entire.
Yeah,
I guess the whole controversy behind the Kuai Liang Scorpion decision. I don't see them getting rid of Hanzo entirely, but that's a question for another day. Shall we get to gameplay?
okay, let's do this.
All right. Ooh. Right before gameplay, there is in the trailer. Let me get you the exact moment. There is an arena confirmed.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, we do see the living forest in its dark mode, and that looks a lot more like what we were, I suppose, expecting.
yeah. Instead of the smiling forest, we got the living forest.
Yeah, the happy forest. Now, where is the? Do you know where the arena? Is it the Lost Tomb? I'm pretty sure it is the Lost Tomb.
I thought it was the one that we were always. I thought it's the one they're fighting at the beginning.
Is it the first one? 'Cause I'm skipping through the trailer right now, and I only see the living forest and the outworld like
the fireworks
might appear. I suppose. Yeah, the fireworks one.
No, I thought it was like that flesh pit type stage we saw at the beginning, but I don't know where that fight scene is at.
No, I'm seeing if I can find it. Tell you what, let's get started on the gameplay analysis, Mayo, and I'll search for this while you jump into Reptile. How's that sound?
Sure.
Yeah. So real quick, JP Masters says, I feel like either Scorpion or Smoke dies and the other goes at it with Sub-Zero.
No more smoke deaths. I've taken so many over the entire history of Mortal Kombat.
And then we got another thing here from. Sorry, my screen's really small on this one.
E.H. Bahi.
Yeah, can you read that?
Wei Liang was the first Scorpion before Hanzo. I mean, in this timeline,
Maybe.
possibly. We don't know. We don't have confirmation of this. Like him being the first one. But I mean, I'd say that Scorpion is also a mantle in this timeline too. So, looking at Sub-Zero being a mantle as well, belonging to their grandfather, etc., etc. Yeah, you never know.
But smoke dies and it becomes a specter from Samuel. Sorry,
I need to keep smoke as smoke for once.
All right, let's talk gameplay. First of all, there was a patched version of Mortal Kombat 1 that was being played at EVO this past weekend. And there's a lot of comments coming in from the people who are playing it, talking about how the gameplay is not just smoother, but much faster, which was a big complaint early on. Mayo, do you got any more information about that?
Well, I mean, just from what I've seen, from the feedback I've seen, the videos that have been posted, they've added in some version of MK9 style dash blocking, which was the defining characteristic of MK9's movement. The fact that you could dash and not just cancel a dash into a normal attack, but also cancel it into a block, which was a faster way of moving instead of just holding forward. And the big difference between dash blocking movement and, say, run movement in MKX is that dash blocking also allows for faster backwards mobility as well. So if you can dash in either direction and cancel into a block and then dash again, you're able to move forward or backwards in a much quicker, snappier way than just holding forward or back and using your base walk speed. It allows for quicker movement into instant defense, which allows for you to try to get in on zoners. Because if you dash and just walk, you dash right into a projectile, like that's a really bad feeling. But if you can dash block or dash block duck, you can just get around the screen a lot faster. And it's what made MK9 what it is. And we haven't had that kind of movement since MK9. And I think what happened is that it was actually nerfed. Dash blocking was nerfed in October of 2011, right before the Destruction tournament. And it was a big deal because suddenly characters that could get in on Cabal's air fireball spam, now they couldn't. Because their dash block movement was nerfed. And I think that they nerfed it and then eventually did away with it with Injustice because people on the outside made fun of them for it. Because I think MK9 was the first attempt at making Mortal Kombat, more of a serious game, focused on tournaments and competition and actually balancing the game. And you had these people on the outside that were like, this dash blocking stuff is janky. It makes this game look stupid, this stupid dash blocking thing. This doesn't exist in any other fighting game. This is bullshit. So I think they ran away from it. And especially with MK11, I feel like they've been trying to make a game that's more quote unquote fighting game community serious. And now I think they're finally listening to the MK community, especially those MK9 players that are like, hey, what was so magical about MK9 was the movement. The dash blocking was great. You should embrace it. And it sounds like they are. And I'm already seeing people saying, this looks janky. This looks terrible. I was like, it doesn't matter how it looks to you. What matters is how it feels. How it feels to play. You know what? Smash Melee wave dashing looks fucking stupid as hell. But like that's the defining aspect of the game's movement. Right? Well, if you took it out, then you would destroy the entire game.
With Mortal Kombat 9, I mean that's still a fun game to play. Like, I'd honestly rather play Mortal Kombat 9 than 11.
I think a lot of us would. But it was movement, it was defense, it was offense, it was the way that you were able to use dashes and combos for creativity and improvisation. It just felt so smooth to play, and I'm not expecting us to get that back 100%. But just the fact that we're able to do it now, I think it's going to open up a lot more of the game. I'm going to enjoy playing it a lot more for sure.
Yeah. It looks fun to me. I gave my trial code to to Yanni, so I haven't got to play it. Yanni, do you want to pull a picture?
Yeah, so I found what I was talking about, and it was in a press release image of Ashrah fighting Havik, and that is the Lost Tomb.
Oh yeah,
what is that?
The
The
stage.
Lost Tomb is where
Anaga's warriors, right?
Yep.
exactly, yes.
Yep.
And we've actually seen
remember
this in the cinematics in the Link Way trailer, where Scorpion is raising the fire against the warriors.
And also that confirms, there's a lot of fans that were looking at that trailer and they saw that warrior on the horse and they're like, oh, it's Shao Kahn or it's General Shao or whatever. It's not. It's just a undead warrior. So
I can also send you over an image of what it used to look like.
Oh yeah, thanks. If you got one.
You can actually see the. Oh, whoops! Did that send as an image?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Mighty Mander, that's my favorite kind of cheese.
Yanni, this is another GIF.
It's okay. I was wondering. All right, 1 second. Sending this over to you now. It's with Firefox lately. There you go.
Mighty Mander says, yeah, that's where Scorpion bodies all those warriors. That's such an amazing scene in that trailer.
It is.
All right, so yeah, here's the old version.
Yeah.
In the 3D era. Which it's cool. It's a cool redesign. They kept a lot of the same elements to it, like the big amulet in the background thing, but they, it's not exactly Shinnok's amulet anymore. So you can see back here.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
I think it looks extremely similar. It's just redesigned.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Cool. All right, Yanni, let's talk gameplay.
All right. So, Reptile. We've already mentioned this already. He shifts between human and lizard within his strings and abilities, and that is sick, personally. I love the incorporation of that into his actual gameplay. And the first thing that we see, I think, Mayo, is his dash, is it not?
Yeah, we have an elbow dash. We have a whiffed elbow dash that he uses to close the space.
We also see his elbow dash get blocked later by Havik, I think. It's pretty cool. I'm happy to see that back, and it's cool how it's actually used as a sort of mobility rather than just an attack.
Well, yeah, I mean that's classic MK9, man. Like his dashing around the screen was what made that character so cool.
All right, Phantom, if you want to pull up the trailer while we discuss this, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't think have we seen his invisibility aside from within strings and the story mode. Like, I don't think, like, Reptile that we know has always had the ability to actually go fully invisible, right? But I think it's only incorporated, at least from what we've seen so far, within his strings itself now.
Well, where can you show me where he goes invisible in the trailer? Sure. In the gameplay?
Too far, Phantom. A bit further back.
Yeah.
Like, in the air now. Watch this. Boom. He disappears there.
So it's not an actual invisibility mechanic.
Well, I mean, I mean, just like how he turns into reptile form for multiple specials. I mean, it could just be a cool characteristic of him that he quickly goes invisible before certain attacks, but he'll also have the invisibility special attack.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're going to do that for the sake of balance this time or not. It's curious that they haven't shown that, but although they have obviously made a big thing out of him going invisible, it's literally part of his fatality as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the tail and the tongue use as well. I mean, we didn't actually see his tongue in the combat itself, but his fatal blow, I suppose. But his tail, he's got a literal tail whip now, which is a low. He's got another low of his gator roll. Where was that at?
That's the second time. Yeah, you see both of those.
You found it perfectly, Phantom.
Right before that is the sweep, I think.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, back a little bit. Oh, there's our Quan chicken. Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love that. It's
I didn't notice
so
that the first
cool.
time. And the gator roll.
And it's nice that it's a low as well. Actually, go back to his tail whip. Is it also like, does he bend down for that? Curious. If he gets hit by a high during, no, he'd get hit.
So that is not his sweep. That is either the second hit of a string, or that's a special attack that he's canceling into.
I could see that being a really cool.
Assume it's a special attack since it kind of like pulls out some of the reptile form of him, but well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that as enhanced or amplified or whatever it's called now, I've forgotten which one's which.
Oh, they change it every game.
Yeah, exactly.
I just EX for you know, EX for everything.
So EX tail whip would be pretty cool, in my opinion. Maybe grabs them and knocks them up or something.
That's a good point too that Mayo made. That every special attack he has, he transforms before any of them.
It's not just special attacks. Although yes, we do see it in the acid spit here. It's also within his actual strings, in my opinion.
Do we see any strings where he actually changes?
I think so, at the beginning, don't we? Unless that was also a.
I don't think that was a string.
Go back to the first fight, Fenton.
Oh.
All the way, yeah, there, around there. Here. In the air combo. It could be a special cancel, but I think it's
meterless launcher, which is great.
Yep. Nice use of Frost cameo. I like that they're showing off a bit more of her too. They've actually shown off all her moves now, I think, one by one, haven't they? Like in each.
So there's the elbow dash into the low.
The low. See there? There you go. Did you see his hand?
Yeah, his hand turns into a reptile form for that second
and here
hit.
As well.
And then there. Now, we don't know if that is actually a special move.
Before this.
That hand hit?
Yeah, in the air. The hand hit in the air before he does the potential special move as well.
Okay.
So it's definitely part of his strings, in my opinion. So there we see it. Here, force bolt, which is huge, by the way.
Yeah.
And then
here.
And
then boom.
There.
Right
See
there.
that?
Yeah.
He gets a little bit of a reptile hand in there. It's interesting. So his normals are also going to have a bit of his reptile form appearing as well. That's pretty interesting. So that low sweep could just be a string and not a special move.
Yes.
Right here. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could just be like 2 back 4 or something like that.
He also got a sort of leaping attack pop up. I noticed at some point. It's really interesting. He's got a lot of range, and a lot of what seems to be meterless pop ups. His kit is quite heavy.
Mingle Justice says, "Wait a minute. Does Reptile have his acid spit?"
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He even that fatality. He ingests them and spits them out, and they're covered in acid.
Block, and then here we go. Oh, boom! Now that's
the pop-up.
That's got to be a special. That's got to be some kind of
right?
special overhead.
And there's the acid.
And then there's this.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he's got a very. Here, look at this. Look how far he jumps for this.
Yeah. Is this another overhead?
This is the fatal blow, and I don't know. I don't think they're gonna give an overhead.
Oh, that's an overhead. That's gotta be.
You think so?
That looks like Liu Kang.
Overhead fatal blow?
Yeah, that's an overhead fatal blow.
Oh man.
Yeah, why not?
Because he his fatal blow and animatic starts up right before it.
Yeah, that is crazy. If it's, I don't know. I feel like fatal blows should be sticking to non-overheads, in my opinion. I feel like they're a bit. It goes. I say this maybe sounding like a scrub, but it goes too close to being a little bit unbalanced if it's an overhead or like full screen, like for example, Aaron Black was in MK11.
Well, we do have the cinematic startup now, so there's
that is
more
true.
Time to react to the block.
Good point. Yeah, that is a good point, actually. I keep forgetting about that. That's a very good addition, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, shall we go into Ashrah?
Yeah.
I think unless you've seen anything that we haven't seen, that you haven't commented on yet, Mayo, from Reptile.
Oh.
What kind of character would you say he is so far?
God, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to describe him in MK9. I just call him versatile. He's just such a versatile character because he's got spit and he's got the ball, right? He's got the low slide. He possibly has a teleport, which we saw coming from the air combo. elbow dash for mobility. It looks like he has low overhead mix-ups. He just looks like he's just going to be all over the place doing what he wants.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's the case, I mean, I agree with you. He's very versatile, and he seems to be very string heavy, pop-up heavy, meterless as well. Nice range to him as well. I don't know. I'm curious to see more of his gameplay, but I will definitely be playing him. He looks so fun to play. And
yeah, this is what I'm excited about for this game, is that this is the first game in a while where I am really excited to try out a lot of characters.
Exactly.
When MK11 came out, I was like, Baraka looks cool. I'll learn Baraka, and then I liked Devora and MKX, so I'll play Devora, and then that was like that was it.
There were too many special forces characters and stuff.
Now, yeah, it's just it was so Cage, Sonya, Jax focused that I was just like, I don't care about these characters. But here, like, I'm playing Havik, definitely Quan. I want to learn Reptile. There's I don't know. They're just the characters are looking really fun to experiment with. So I'm excited.
Yeah, agreed. And one of those characters is Ashrah.
Ashrah looks cool.
Ashrah. Yeah. I mean, she's got the Datusha, as we said. Most likely, it looks like a Chris. Although more of a sword than a dagger, and Chris is normally associated with being a dagger.
People are going to be really mad because Ashrah is fighting in high heels. So,
what people are mad about that?
They always talk about how it's unrealistic and everything.
That was one of the big Mortal Kombat 9 arguments. Was people was like,
Mortal Kombat.
You can't fight in high heels and no clothes.
Well, yeah, you know what? You also tell Liu Kang he shouldn't be fighting with his shirt off against people who throw fireballs.
Yeah,
and a loincloth.
Yeah, like, who cares?
Oh, I know.
Who cares?
Anyway,
so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Looking at her gameplay, we've mentioned already that she has a light and a dark sort of mode. Do you think those are stances, Mayo, or what? What do you think?
Oh, back it up a little bit. Let me look.
So this is
I didn't think about there being stances.
No, this is the light sword here, and later on, right before her fatality phantom, she's using the dark mode. You want to pull that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
On here.
So, yeah, it does seem like every single attack is sword.
There, watch.
Oh, it's glowing. Different.
Maybe that's just a buff.
Perfect. Look, he needs a bit of an affect on him now. Ready? There.
Oh yeah. That's got to be just some kind of sword buff, and then like if you land any hits, it puts them into some kind of debuff or something.
Yeah, could be a buff actually. Yeah.
I wouldn't think that would be a stance, and more like maybe like something you can cancel into and power up your sword or something.
Could it also be
using the holy light of the Datusha, she's switching to her demon powers.
I didn't notice that. Okay.
Also, she's playing in a dark stage in that one too. I mean, could it be that?
Notice, like, isn't that the same exact kind of color that Noob Saibot's attacks had in MK11?
Yeah, it is.
The purple?
And it also surprisingly similar to Havik's regeneration. Similar, not simple. I don't know why I said that. Similar to Havik's regeneration. See his arm right there? Yeah.
Oh, no. But look, that's the light coming off of her sword.
Yeah, so the sword...
Watch now. Look at his arm. No, that's his arm. I'm telling you, that's his arm. Go back a little bit again, Phantom. His arm?
Yeah, his arm regenerated that purple color.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, at the same time, bear in mind, it's just, there's just color choices. I don't know if it's going to be the exact same thing.
I think it's related to the stage that they're playing on. Because in the light stage, her sword still glows, but it glows yellow.
I think you're being misdirected here.
Think so? I mean,
because she literally uses a fatality in that dark stage with light feathers.
Well, yeah, but I just think that was a cinematic choice.
Ooh, there's a purple fruit in the tree. Look, there's purple fruit in the tree.
One thing I noticed about her,
she's got some heavy hits. Sorry, by the way, Phantom. She's got some heavy plus frames on her attacks. If you notice, like when she hits them, like they're really staggered for quite a while in a couple of hits, especially that last one where she then pops them up. Go back a bit, Phantom.
Her aerial tactics too make me think that we could possibly get Sindel just because of how well the aerial combat is on this game. And that'll be really cool to see with some of the guest characters since we got like Omni-Man and Homelander.
Well, actually, speaking of Sindel, look at this. This was basically Sindel's Banshee in MK11, as well as Tanya's teleport in MKX.
Yeah.
She's looking really good. I wonder also she has a bit of a bleed, but I said that about Smoke too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate it when they give characters bleed, honestly.
Bleed? What do you mean?
So
like
if you go back a bit, when she hits Raiden, sorry, he not here, a bit further back, but before Cyrax comes in. Okay, watch this. See there how he's kind of just continuously bleeding. I think I am looking way too much into this, but
What's wrong with having bleed?
just your character keeps losing health throughout the game. I don't like it.
But I don't see it happening, actually, now that I think about it. He's not being impaled or anything. It's just a lot of blood. It's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting pop-up. I find that very interesting if it's a special move or something, too.
Well, I love how that pop-up keeps going, though.
Yeah, it is such a long combo.
Yeah.
QA really outdid themselves with the combos.
The Cyrax assists look very good for combo extensions.
Yeah. All right, and the wings, I wonder if it's just for her fatality or if she's going to have a special move with them or something.
Oh, yeah, somebody else asked about that in the chat. Let me see if I can find it. Is Ashrah, let's see. Is Ashrah going to use her angel wings in cage match? Oh, that's in the movie.
A good question, but I don't think so. Personally, I think Ashrah, based on what we've seen, is going to be more classic Ashrah.
Yeah. Because she even has her hat.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
short hair.
Should we do Havik?
Yeah, let's move into Havik. Again, anything we've missed, Mayo, that you have noticed that we haven't talked about?
Oh, no, I think we're doing pretty good.
All right, well, Havik, as we mentioned already, uses his own limbs as weapons. As we said, he used to use a Morning
There's the
Star.
purple. See?
Yeah.
Okay.
Used to use a Morning Star. Now he just figured, why use a weapon when I have my arm? Just rips it off. And he's got that sort of arm blade that Darius used to have, kind of. Interesting to note is his jaw. This is one thing that makes me wonder if he's going to have gear or not, because it's not the full mask, and he's not showing his entire jaw.
You think we're going to get the white eyes in story?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping.
I missed those.
So check this out. He first actually go back a little bit again, Phantom. This here. Is that a leap in, Mayo?
Okay, so like the very first attack that he does?
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at it. Black Lives Matter says Superman punch forward one. Ooh, yeah, it is kind of a... Yeah, I mean, there's no way to know if that's a high or a mid yet. But if that's a mid,
I have a feeling it's a high. Go straight for her face.
Yeah.
I think so. And I love how he just twists his head and just becomes like, this is cool here. What is that, a heart?
Kind of, oh my God, I don't know what it is. That's easily a mid. I don't know.
It's hitting her face.
It's hitting her face. She's not ducking, so there's no way we can know that that's a mid.
This is sick. Look at his guts just spraying everywhere as he does the twist.
The new twist mechanic. I mean, it's like such classic Havik. But
can you rewind it?
Yeah,
go back. And there's actually one possible criticism I have of it. Actually, now that I just saw that
of the twist.
Yeah, here, watch now. So he first breaks his neck, pulls out, I don't know, chaos magic heart something, and he headbutts it down, and it explodes as a pop-up. And he rips off his arm in the air and then kicks her down. Arms growing back. Then here.
Look at his torso spinning.
Oh, there. See, I thought I had a criticism there, but it's actually just the end. I thought his entire body kept spinning, but no, it's only on the last hit that it spins. And I think that's great, actually.
Yeah, so he starts spinning the torso, and then his body catches up.
Exactly. That's so cool. And then this is interesting. A long range on the Fatal Blow initiation. What else are we missing? Oh, if you skip ahead, Phantom, to the next time we see him fighting. Here. Yep. Okay. Check this out. We'll talk about Sareena's thing in a sec, but check this. Low into low, I think. Oh no, this time's just a low. Here we go. Rips off his arm again. Knocks her. This seems, I don't know if it's a special or a string, but he knocks her up, meterless, I think. and then rolls forward and command grabs.
Yeah, he's got a roll forward command grab. That's like almost like a Kano style thing.
Yeah, right? It's sick. Like,
I
it's
love
so
that game.
interesting, his gameplay. And I think actually we're missing one. Oh, it might be here. Is it here? Yes, low, low. Watch this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Very similar to Sub-Zero's.
Yeah, he's got the double low with ends in the sweep.
All right. I mean, that's everything that I kind of found on Havik. Do you see anything we've missed again?
I mean, I just don't know how much more you can say about it.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Because we've only seen like a couple strings, a few attacks. Like they didn't show as much of what he can do as they did Reptile.
Yes, and I've noticed that with a couple of characters, Rain being one of them. We've just seen, like somebody mentioned, he looks a bit like a zoner, but we've barely seen
Just a few
anything with Rain.
things.
Yeah.
And this game's still getting updated so much too that, you know, some stuff that we're seeing now might not make it into the final game.
Yeah, you never know.
Let's talk a
Move
little
on
bit
to
about
Sareena?
Sareena. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to her, the beginning, where she's introduced along with Havik. Further back. Further, further. Further.
Jeez. Okay.
I think a bit further back?
Well, this is where their gameplay.
This
Ah,
is
yeah. Okay, cool. So, first thing, actually, you've got it in slow-mo, haven't you?
Yeah, I
the
do.
first thing that she does actually relates to her sickles, isn't it?
Is it her first move?
Yeah, I think so. Here, watch. It's about to happen.
Yep.
I've seen this a million times. Ready, set.
Boom. So she throws dual
1, 2,
sickles.
3, 4.
1,
Ah.
2, 3, 4. Right. And now we don't know if that legit combos or if it just puts them in stun where they have to block. We don't know that.
I think it's similar to Kano's.
Yeah.
How he throws the daggers. So I think it is a bit of a hit stun.
Gives enough time to land something.
Yeah, exactly.
Ed made a boomerang joke before this trailer came out and said, I threw a boomerang years ago and I've been living in constant fear ever since because it's never came back.
But that was Tanya.
Was that Tanya related?
Because MK4, she had a boomerang.
What did he say? Sorry, I missed that.
He said, yeah, go ahead, Yanni.
Basically, it was a tweet about Tanya saying Tanya, and then I threw a boomerang years ago and I live in constant fear because it never came back. So, it's the joke about the boomerang. But Tanya had a boomerang in Mortal Kombat 4.
Okay.
All right, what else?
So
if you go further ahead, further, I think, Phantom. It's towards the end, actually. We can see her fatal blow, I suppose. Yeah. So this is interesting because she goes right into demon form the entire time, even though she's holding up the sickles very intently.
Here's
my sickles. Nope, gotcha.
Mingled gesture. We were saying, I think that that's probably some kind of buff that you can apply to her sword at some moment that does some kind of light steal or puts you in a no blocking stance or something like that. It applies something.
Yeah, and I don't think the color matters myself. I think it's related to stage, but Yanni thinks otherwise.
Okay.
I don't think it's stage related. It would be too unfair in terms of balance.
Look, it could also be gear, right? Like if you change color of your sword for no reason if you want.
Yeah. Oh, Nova Prime, he had a skeleton arm. Yes, his arm grows back because he actually rips it off.
Wow, look,
as you can see
his
here,
hands are gone. That's so sick.
The actual one thing I do want to comment on. I know it's not actual technical gameplay, but in her fatal blow, she is using claws. You just had it, Phantom. Her fatal blow.
Yeah.
She's using her claws and her tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I don't know. To me, there is too much going on here for her to just be a cameo. I fully believe she's going to be playable roster at some point. Okay. I really do. There's too much detail. Yeah.
Well, Delara said earlier on in the chat too that the fact that they have so much detail in her, like the art direction of her, kind of hints at she is going to be playable at some point.
Now this is go back a bit too far.
Yeah, this is really interesting stuff here.
Very interesting.
He does a low into the cameo call, which sets up this burn on the ground.
Look at this. Flip kick.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see why you'd use it unless you're worried.
Well, I mean, look, just because they're using it defensively in the trailer doesn't mean that that's how we're going to use it as players. That could easily be an air juggle sort of thing. You know, you do a pop up. Yeah, some pop up. You never know how you're going to be using it. Trailers are just to make things look cool. And then when we actually get the game and then we look at the trailers again, you're like, oh my God, why would you ever do that?
Can you go back and just keep looping over that part? Yeah. From the kick first. So I think you're right, because what we see here, too far. What you see, again, too far. Here, she's in the air.
Yeah.
So because she's in the air, she's reacting to it differently. So I think you're right, Mayo. And then here, this is very interesting, as we've been saying. Because look, like it's on the floor. It's like an AoE, and somebody just mentioned that it looks like there's blood twirling. I don't know. I think the blood twirling is from Havik hitting.
Yeah.
I think that the hell portal, I'm going to call it, is an AoE dot or something.
Yeah, most likely.
Or potentially also including with a heal.
Could be.
Maybe it could also make a special effect if you connect a special ability or something within. Maybe a trap even, you know, if they stay in it for too long. I don't know. It's so much potential here. But I have a feeling it's a dot, potentially with a heal.
Possibly it generates cryptocurrency for the player to get NFTs in the store.
And her throw here, which is really cool, using the sickles. And then what's interesting is they get knocked back pretty far.
Look at Havik with his back to this. To
the
yeah,
cool.
He's like,
look
whatever.
how far away she throws.
I don't need to look.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think that's everybody then.
That's not everybody, Phantom. Actually, we have two more quick ones to cover. If you go back to a little bit before this fight, two.
Oh, the Reptile?
Melina with Reptile. Yeah. Further back, bit further back. Again, bit further back.
Oh, is
at the start of this fight? Here, yeah. So, up too far again, Phantom. At the start of the fight.
The start of the fight is the low string.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for the striker breaker.
That comes here.
Yeah.
All right. If that's the case, then what we've just seen, we're going to cover Melina and Striker
right here
at the exact same time then.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we got the stun gun. I just wanted to mention that. But more importantly is if you see here, firstly, the roll looks very different and is a mid, I think.
Yeah. Mid like it was in MK9.
Mm-hmm. And then have we seen her throw her Sai yet?
That might have been at the beginning.
Yeah, I think it is. Did you run it back? Yeah. Here. Yes, it's here now. So it's a high, as far as I can tell.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then here, this part's actually the most interesting thing about Melina now. The fact that she's getting destroyed by Reps. I'm joking. Here, it's the teleport kick.
Yeah.
Watch this. It can be comboed. It leaves them stunned.
It looks like it can be comboed. We don't know if he just wasn't blocking because of the frame advantage. That's not confirmed because we do not see a combo counter on screen. You never know what actually links in these trailers.
That's a good point. Because to me, it looks like he's still groggy from the attack.
No, I mean, the thing is, that's how it is. You get... you're still in those stunned animation frames, even when they just have frame advantage. And if you hold block, your character doesn't block. You don't block out of the stun animation. It's just that if they attack, you immediately go into the block.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we'll see. Like, I think if a meterless Melina teleport that grants a combo would be pretty fucking crazy. Now, if there's an EX version, then maybe we can talk. But yeah, my bet would be that's just a teleport that grants frame advantage, and then they were disrespecting the frame advantage and they got opened up.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
and the roll being a mid, just speaking, theoretically, I think that makes sense because I think having a low roll from that far away that pops up for combo is a little ridiculous. And but it also makes me think MK9, where MK9's Melina roll was not a low, but the EX version of it actually was a double hit that started with an overhead. And so what that did is that opened up mix-up opportunities to where if they were expecting a low starter, you could do the EX roll, and then the EX roll would open them up with the overhead and then launch. So just because the roll is not a low doesn't mean that she's not going to have mix-up opportunities.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well.
We very well could see the return of the EX roll that starts overhead.
Yeah, yeah. Like the MKX version was quite intense, actually. So yeah, it's a very good point.
And under the mayo, that's why we brought you on. So
yeah,
if you guys haven't checked out his channel, please do, because he's been breaking down these trailers in such a great way that it's made me more excited for the games.
well, good. I'm here's the thing. They're making me excited, and I did not want to get excited. I was like, MK11 put a really bad taste in my mouth, honestly, and I didn't want to get excited for this game, and they just keep getting me more and more excited. And seeing the mechanics changes, seeing so much of what I talked about in my MK11 video from last year, seeing so much of it get addressed has made me really optimistic. And then seeing the dash block thing getting added in as well, there's just, I don't know, like I think there's reason to be optimistic about this game going forward. So yeah, it's been cool to get back into talking about this. I wasn't going to talk about this if this felt like MK11 Part 2. And apparently it feels like it's not. They have done away with several things that made me not like MK11, and then they've changed or nerfed other aspects of them that have made me incredibly happy. And I didn't think that my video on this game on MK11 would go on to do as well as it did, but it did, and because I think it resonated with a lot of people who have issues with MK11, and it's good to see that they're keeping what, you know, some of the things that worked about 11, but they're also bringing back things that worked in X and especially 9, more traditional mechanics. The Injustice influence is largely not there, and so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, gameplay wise, we didn't talk about that at the beginning.
I'd love to.
It's, you know, it's kind of been pulling in everything from all these different games, like the best of all the games so far from what we've seen.
Like flawless block is there, but it did what I thought it should be doing from the beginning, which is it just negates chip damage. All right.
It also allows you something else. I think there was an additional input now that you can have. I think Uncaged talked about that recently. Do you remember, Phantom? We discussed it. I think you get, it's sort of like a, if you remember the flawless block into pop-up, right? It's kind of like that, but what is it? I've totally forgotten what it was. I got to find it now.
Because I saw the ducking uppercut that was able to meter cancel into a pop-up, but I didn't see that coming from any flawless blocking.
Oh no! Was that not it?
Sorry, that was okay. We recently saw video of someone ducking a high attack and uppercutting, and then using 2 bars of meter to cancel it into a pop up and getting.
That was it. That was it. I'm getting confused. Exactly. Thank you.
That's it. And it's not flawless block. You can't flawless block someone and then pop them up using your meter. That is gone.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Chip damage now, and it changes the frame data of a few things. It's not all over the place, where flawless block is changing the frame data of all things all over the place. And you're not going to be using flawless block to block to interrupt a string anymore. If someone has a gap in their string, you can't just flawless block that last hit and then now you're changing their frame data and you get a fucking free combo from it. Now, if you make the read, you have to spend the meter on doing an armored special, and if your read is wrong, that's what I like about this, because if you went for that read in MK11, if someone did a three hit attack string, and you go for the interrupt on the 3rd hit because there's a gap in it, but they stopped after the 2nd hit, Well, then you went for the flawless block, but it didn't happen because they didn't do the last hit, and you spent no resources on it. But now, if you go for that read, you have to do the EX special. And if they don't do the third hit, well, then you've tried to interrupt nothing, and you wasted the resources on it. That's what I like about it. I really like that consequence that's been put back into it. I mean, there's just so much. There's so much to talk about with
so much to look forward to.
The meter burn. The meter burn system is gone. I've hated that system for 10 years now. Since Injustice 1, I've hated the meter burn system, and it's just been all over their games. And it's gone. Like you gotta commit to your specials now. And yes, you can use the cameos for your mix-ups now, but what you cannot do is do a string into a special and then see that your special is blocked and then call a cameo to cover your ass. You can't do that because you cannot cancel special attacks into cameos in this game. You can only cancel strings into cameos.
Yeah.
So if you do a string into a special and that special is punishable on block, then you eat that punish. There's no, oh, they blocked my special, I'm going to burn my meter and make it safe. Or they're going to try to punish me and I'm going to burn the meter to mix them up for trying to punish me. That shit is gone. And I'm that alone has me excited to play this game.
Yeah.
So Nova Prime, what he means here with meter burn is that it's not in a way where you can use an attack and then amplify it later. That's only for select attacks now. In this case, you need to commit to the amplification.
Yeah. Nova Prime says, so meter burn was happening during the stress test. No. Meter burn has been gone since the first gameplay reveal. It is EX specials. Mm-hmm. You do a fireball or you do the EX double fireball. There is no more of this do a fireball, see that it's blocked, and then burn the meter to now turn your punishable projectile that got blocked into a mix-up or burn it to make it safe. That stuff's gone. Mm-hmm. And it's been in NRS games since Injustice 1 when Superman was shooting his laser in the air, and then you go to punish him because you blocked it, and then he burns the meter and blows you up for it. Like I feel like that the meter burn mechanic has been poisoning these games for 10 years now, and that was like the main focus of my entire video. And I didn't do it because of me, obviously not. I'm not taking credit. My video came out a year ago. The game's been in development for 4 years, but it is the direction that they were going, and I'm just so glad that they were going in that direction.
Yeah, definitely.
That breakaway gone. You're not going to be
thank God
punished for doing a combo string. The classic combo breakers are back. And the other main thing I talked about in my video was the grabs. Now, we have yet to see how grabs are. I really don't like the grab priority beating out so many crouching attacks in MK11. We'll see how that goes, because it is something that goes back all the way to, like, I think Injustice or at least MKX. We'll see. I hope I don't get grabbed out of all my downloads and down fours. Getting grabbed out of a max range down 4 is just, oh my God, dude.
Extremely annoying.
I just don't see why you would program it that way. But we'll see, because it's also going to depend on how strong grabs are in the meta, because we've also seen from screenshots of the input screens that down ones appear so far to be universally -9 on block. I've seen multiple characters and it's all -9. And so even if they're not all -9, I think that's a good indication that all down ones are going to be pretty negative. MK9 was -13, so it's not that much, but it's -9, which means that it can only be punished by either a 9-frame special mid, which is inputted as a reversal after a block, or an 8-frame mid normal attack. And I mean, mark my words, no one in this game is going to have an 8-frame mid. The fastest mid normal I think we've ever seen in a Mortal Kombat game is 9. Johnny Cage's knee Jackie Briggs, her knee or her kick or whatever it was. You see 6 frames, sometimes 5 frame normal highs, but you don't see mids faster than 9 frame in Mortal Kombat. On very, very rare exceptions, you'll see them. Okay. But that means that down ones will not technically be punishable, but they will be significantly negative enough to where if you're mashing down one, you're going to get blown up. And that's
the pokes need to
wonderful.
be changed, in my opinion, anyways. So it's a good change already, as it is, in my opinion. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Mayo, why don't you tell everybody where they can find your channel and some of the other content you have? I mean, you don't just have your Mortal Kombat 9 videos, or sorry, your Mortal Kombat videos, but tell them a little bit about yourself before we.
Well, if you guys go outside and check your garbage can, you'll find my very, very bottom in the corner where all the stuff that you haven't cleaned out in like 2 years. You can find most of my stuff right there. Okay. My main focus is YouTube, under the Mayo there. I'm getting back into Mortal Kombat, but lately I do a lot of survival horror stuff. Resident Evil and Silent Hill are my main games. I do a little bit of God of War from time to time. I do some recommendation series. I'm known for a lot of shooters. Doom Eternal back a couple of years ago. I review some indie shooters. I stream every week or two on Twitch, just randomly. I have a Patreon if you want to help me out there. But yeah, I put out a video a week, maybe, usually a video a week if I can. I have a bi-monthly movie club where I do movie recommendations. I just did a review of the Twisted Metal TV series. I do some podcasts. I interview people from all around the gaming scene, YouTube content creators, game directors, some games that I've recently been doing some testing with, and some help on their combat balance. Deadlink and Turbo Overkill are first-person shooters that have just come out this summer, so please check those out. Those are like the first games I've really been involved in their gameplay. So I'm kind of all over the place, kind of spreading out what I talk about, and diversifying myself as not just a content creator, but also as someone getting into the consultation process for game design and balance.
You really are everywhere. I was looking through your Twitter feed earlier today. I was like, oh my gosh, he's got like hands and everything. So
that was very intentional early on, because when my channel, because I started my YouTube channel in MK9 in 2011 with my early strategy guides. And then 2020 I blew up for Doom Eternal. I was like, I didn't see this coming, but okay, I'll do it. And but within a month I was like, you know what, I don't want to be known as a Doom channel, because what am I going to talk about in a couple of years, right? Like, I don't want to talk about one game, and with something like Mortal Kombat, like, you've got NRS typically puts out 2 games, and a game every 2 years. You at least have a steady feed. Or Resident Evil, there's like a new Resident Evil every year. But like, you can really get trapped in the one game or one topic thing, and you can end up making videos about stuff you don't want to talk about anymore, just because your audience doesn't want to hear about anything else. I've seen it happen. In YouTube over the years, I've seen these channels get trapped in their own content and become miserable. And so very early on in that first year in 2020, I made a very hard effort to diversify. I talked about Resident Evil. I talked about God of War. I talked about indie games. And I talked about Mortal Kombat. And I said, hey, look, if you like what I do, great. But long term, I'm going to make sure that I'm in multiple things, not just for the channel's health, but for my own. Because if I was just talking about one type of game, if I was just talking about shooters for years, I would drive myself insane. So I'm very happy.
That's the beautiful thing about what Phantom and I do. We only talk about Mortal Kombat, and we don't drive ourselves crazy because we're already insane.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Well, I mean,
the cool thing about Mortal Kombat too is that it's not just a game. It's everything. Like, you guys want to talk about toys? We'll talk about Mortal Kombat toys. So
yeah, totally. But I'm glad to look. I can't promise how long I'm going to stick with Mortal Kombat when MK1 comes out. I might hate the game. I have no fucking clue. We don't know. But I mean, chances are high that it turns out like any other game I play where I'm like, this game is great. And I play it for a month and I'm like, okay, well, I'm moving on to the next thing. That could happen too. So I can't promise people that Mayo is back for 2 years of strategy guides. I can't promise that. But if I fall in love with a character or two and I enjoy playing competitively and watching tournaments and talking about this stuff, then, it would be nice, for the next couple of years to have something to talk about here and there.
Yeah. So hopefully this game is amazing as it seems, because
it looks good.
Yeah. Well, Under the Mayo, thank you again for joining us today. And thank you to all of our guests who have come on and chatted with us. We love doing Soul Stream with you guys. So it's always fun to have you on here.
The interaction, the engagement is just a lot of fun.
I gotta mention in your chat, this is Mingle Jester says, but I noticed that they kept the duck grab whiff in this game. That's not specific to MK11. That's all the games. You can do that in MK9. It's just that the throw game was not nearly as important as it is in MK11, right? And so you were doing a lot of frame traps and crazy chip damage and 100% reset combos and armored moves. And so the whole like get close and strike into throw mix up was not a big thing in MK9, but it became a huge thing in MK11. And so ducking and punishing became a big thing. And now when I play MK9, I duck grabs and full combo punish because I learned it from MK11. So it's not that they kept it from MK11. It's always been there. It's it just depends on how prominent throws are as to how important that kind of punish becomes. All right. Sorry. Just wanted to clear that.
No, it's a good point. Yeah.
Like we said, that's why we wanted to have you on the show to answer exact questions like this. And
great.
So thank you.
Throws are high attacks. Throws are high attacks in Injustice. They're high attacks in MKX. You can punish all grabs the same way. It's just that grabs were so crazy in MK11 and all over the place that you had to punish them or you got thrown all the time. Yeah.
Well,
okay. But
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much. Honestly, like it's been a lot of fun, like diving into the gameplay and everything with you. And I hope everybody thinks the same. We're hopefully going to see a lot more of what we talked about just in greater detail, hopefully in like a combat cast or something. But obviously we got the beta coming up soon too, so we'll be able to dive into
I signed up for it. I got my pre-order on PS5. So nice. I expect to be there.
Oh, you should add us so we can all fight. And so for those who don't know, also, if you're still playing Mortal Kombat 11, check out Fight Club on Mortal Kombat Online. It is basically Combat League's better older brother, and it's so much fun. So
no, not just better, like completely different.
Yeah,
like, Combat League sucked. I'm sorry, but it did.
Yeah. So find, like, if you want to play against me and Yanni, find us on there. Like we'll jump on and fight you in some Fight Club on Mortal Kombat Online. So definitely check that out. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest episodes, never miss a beat with the Realmcast, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so we can continue to celebrate Mortal Kombat like with you guys. And stay tuned for more content because we're going to keep going into the Mortal Kombat universe deeper and deeper. We are releasing a Tarkon bite-sized episode on Sareena's lore and a return tomorrow. So check that out. Yanni is the one that had to do it because he's obsessed.
Stalking.
So. I had to make it happen. Like that. I'm doing this episode now. Ready? Audio's coming your way. But Under the Mayo, and to our listeners, really hope you enjoyed today's discussion. If you aren't up to date on the channel, as Phantom just mentioned, we've been releasing Triumphant bite-sized episodes on specific topics on the road to MK1's release. We have also been recording some awesome Realmcast interviews behind the scenes, and we will be looking to release those when the time is right. So let us know if you have any specific guests that you'd like us to bring on, and also feel free to let them know that you want them on here too. That being said, we did just mention the MK1 beta, and we will be streaming the beta from the 18th to the 21st of August, as we did with the stress test, and we will also most likely be doing a collaboration stream once again with Survived Combatant of Mortal Kombat Online. So keep an eye out for posts, as I'm going to be diving right into Lee May and Frost's gameplay, as I did with Kenshi during the stress test.
And speaking of Survived Combat, don't forget to check out Mortal Kombat Online's other programs like Survival Saturdays, which are 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can find Yanni and myself, Phantom, on the Mortal Kombat group on Facebook, as well as Yanni on the Mortal Kombat Meme Realm, which is on Facebook and Instagram now.
You can also join our official Discord channel hosted on Mortal Kombat Online's server through the link in the description, where we discuss Mortal Kombat along with you, our listeners.
And once again, special thanks to Uppercut Editions for the continued support with the Realmcast. We are the official podcast of Mortal Kombat Online.
And you can catch up on all episodes of the Realmcast on realmcast.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Cool.